Now it's time for the Laredo Lemurs pregame show. Laredo Lemurs baseball is brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade Forwarding, Whataburger of Alice. And now here's Bill Harrington with the Laredo Lemurs pregame show.
All right, good evening, Lemurs fans. Bill Harrington along with Cameron Songer coming to you live from Uni-Trade Stadium. That's right, the Lemurs are back home, getting ready to take on the Amarillo ThunderHeads in the first game of a four-game set between these two clubs starting tonight. The Laredo Lemurs are coming off a road trip that was a little bit dismal for the club, but they finished it on a high note with the Lemurs going 2-5 on the road trip, but they end up winning yesterday's ball game in grand fashion by a final score of 12-3. It was the great pitching of Luis Poyorena that led the way for the Laredo Lemurs and the hot-hitting bats in the second inning, and we'll talk a little bit about the bats. But first, we want to lead off with the starting pitcher, Luis Poyorena, who in his second start for the Lemurs ended up going 8 innings, gave up 7 hits, only 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked a batter and struck out 4. Yohan Montero for the Lemurs came on and closed out the ball game as he pitched in the bottom of the 9th inning and retired the side in order for the Wichita Wingnuts. So Luis Poyorena doing a great job in his second start for the Lemurs, and he is looking good moving forward. Manager Pete Incaviglia said he is actually going to be staying in the rotation as we move forward throughout the season as of right now. But let's talk about the offense yesterday, as it was exciting to see the Lemurs finally get off the schneid there with the offense. Before yesterday's game, they had only scored 2 runs over the last 4 games coming in, and the offense was in a bit of a nosedive, and the Laredo Lemurs seemed to straighten things out. It all started in the second inning when Devontre Richardson reached on an error by the shortstop. Then Dennis Phipps came up to the plate. He got himself a single, and then Juan Silverio would come up to the plate and do this. Coronas kicks and throws, and that one's lined in the left field line, and that's going to go all the way out to the wall. Richardson's going to score easily. Here comes Phipps. He's hustling around the bag. He's going to score, and the Lemurs have 2 runs. The Lemurs have not scored 2 runs in a game in 4 days, and they do it here today. Dennis Phipps scoring all the way from first base. Yeah, so the Lemurs got off to a good start there in the second inning, scoring those 2 runs. And then later on, Jeudy Valdez would come up with a walk after the Silverio double. So runners at first and second. Swings and lines went into right center field. The Lemurs have 4 runs up on the board in the early going in this ball game. I mentioned in yesterday's game that the official scorekeeper did not call that a triple at the time. Later on, after the game was over, they did go back, review the play, and they did decide that it was indeed a triple for Abel Nieves. At the time, they'd put an error down, and I thought for sure it was a triple, and I talked about it a couple of times during the broadcast last night. But they did go back and change it over to a triple, so Abel Nieves gets what he deserves there in that one. So that brings us up to Kevin Taylor. He came up to the plate with a runner at third base. He ended up walking, so that put runners at the corners for the Laredo Lemurs. And then Dustin Geiger stepped to the plate in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Geiger swings, drills one high and deep to left field. Brodeen's going back. He's looking up. He's at the track. He's going to leap, and it's gone! A home run for Geiger. 3-run homer for Dustin Geiger. That'll put the Lemurs up 7-0 in the ball game. Yeah, the Lemurs have a 7-0 lead at the time after the Dustin Geiger home run. They scored 7 runs in that inning on 4 hits, and the Laredo Lemurs were off to a great start. They would continue the hotness there in the 4th inning. They would score 2 more runs in the 4th, and then the Wichita would come right back in the 5th inning. The ball would actually hit his mitt and fall right out, and then Juan Silverio would come up one more time. The pitch, swung on a fly ball hitting to right center field. On the run again is Ray. Ray has a long way to get to this one. He won't catch up to it. He's going to take a couple of hops, go all the way out to the wall. Phipps is around second. He's heading home on his horse is Silverio. He's going in for a triple. He'll go in there sliding. No balls and 2 strikes, and now Silverio on his belly. I believe he's laughing as he kind of went into a funny slide, and the Lemurs score a run. So now Phipps talking to the home plate umpire before he heads into the dugout. I don't know. Yeah, Phipps did talk to the umpire when he got behind home plate. He was talking about the previous count that he had during his at bat. He thought he walked. Apparently, the umpire had a different count than Phipps had. Phipps started heading up to first base later on. Like I said, Phipps came back behind home plate. He ended up getting tossed out of the ball game after he came in and scored. He went into the dugout. The umpire thought he was chirping, so he ended up getting thrown out of the ball game yesterday. Well, the Lemurs would go up in the sixth inning, and Dustin Geiger would come up to the plate one more time with the Lemurs in charge of the ball game. But Geiger, a high fly ball out to left. Brodeen going back. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall. It's gone. A home run for Dustin Geiger, his second of the ball game. He's got his stroke back tonight. He's got 3 hits here in the game, 2 homers, and a double. That's going to be his 5th RBI of the game. Yeah, Dustin Geiger looked sweet yesterday. Ended up going 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs. That ties a season high with Byron Wiley. Juan Silverio had a great night as well. He ended up going a home run shy of the cycle last night as he went 3 for 5. So he had a double, a triple, and a single. And if he would have got that home run, he would have hit for the cycle in yesterday's ball game. So the Lemurs whipped out the whipping sticks yesterday, and they scored 12 runs on 13 hits. There were 4 errors by the Wichita Wingnuts. Here's manager Pete Incavillas on the game last night and the road trip where the Lemurs ended up going 2 for 5. He talked to a bunch of media people today, including myself, Cameron Songer, and one of the ladies from Fox Television here in town.
Tell us about the weekend road trip. What worked, what didn't work?
Well, that's a loaded question. You know, we're in the midst of a 32-game stretch where it's very unusual for a team to play 32 games in a row. It's really the first time I've ever been a part of anything like that. And, you know, we got a lot of mentally and physically tired players right now. You know, I think it's starting to take its toll a little bit. It is what it is, not an excuse, but, you know, we didn't play up to our capabilities on the road. I felt like we pitched real well. You know, a couple 1-0 games we probably should have won, could have won. But it is what it is. We are where we are, and, you know, I think, you know, our guys are fighting and battling. They're playing hard. They're giving us everything we can ask for. So, you know, hopefully we can come home and hopefully get a little rejuvenation and play a little bit better against Amarillo.
All right, Pete, there's been a standout player on your team over the last 2 times out. Where did all this come from?
Mississippi State went to the World Series. Somebody that knows how to go about starting, understands about setting the tone as a starting pitcher, and I mean he has been by far one of our better starters. He's been great, and you know he's ready to rock and roll every day. You know, he told us last night after throwing 8 innings, he says, "Hey man, I can take Garner's spot." And no, you're going to get your normal day's rest. You know, he's just a godsend for us, to be honest with you. You know, he's been pitching great. He's beloved by his teammates and his coaching staff. And, you know, I don't know where we'd be without, Luis Polarena right now. I mean, he's actually pitching in games where we really need a win, need somebody to step up and really need a win, and he's been the guy. So, you know, we're going to leave him there and let him keep doing what he's doing. And, he's the kind of guy that, the bigger the game, the better he is. And, we got no quorums putting him out there against anybody. He has been just fantastic.
Just as the rotation looked like it was going to get solidified, another guy goes down, Scott Gardner. Can you give us an update on Scott and how you're going to fill that hole?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough to replace him. You know, he's one of our, our rotation has been great all year. And, he heard that tendon pop. You know, it was kind of ugly and something that you don't ever want to be a part of or experience. But, the good thing is about those injuries that they seem to get fixed pretty quickly, and most of the guys come back stronger than they were. And he's a young kid, and, I'm sure he'll work hard and come back. You know, he's been picking Hainsey's brain, who's coming off Tommy John surgery too. But, we don't know for sure it's Tommy John, but, we're all 98% sure that, it's probably that Tommy John tendon, and we're going to get him fixed as soon as we can, and hopefully he'll be back pitching for us next year.
Team had a little bit of a breakout game yesterday, Pete. Did you talk to the guys before the game, or is it just something that just came around?
Well, yeah, I had we had a really good conversation yesterday about a lot of things, and I really don't like to talk about what we talk about in the clubhouse. That's between me and them, and but they came out and responded really well and played really well, and it's been a long 30 games or 28 games. I mean, once we get done with Amarillo, it'll be 32 in a row, and we have never played, as long as I've been managing in this league, I don't think I ever remember playing 17 or 18. It was the most I can remember. I mean, you've been here too, Bill. I don't remember playing, 32 games in a row ever. So, yeah, and it's not the games, it's the small roster, So, if you got 10, 11 guys, position players, and that's the most you carry, you really can't give guys days off, and they're playing every day. We're playing day games, the night games, and we don't have a big enough roster to give guys days off, and because we only have 22-man rosters. So those guys have been going out there grinding and giving whatever's in their tank they're giving us, and we just hope that we can survive the next 4 games and get a couple days off. We got a day off coming after the Amarillo series, and we got another day off coming, and I think you'll see the guys get a little more rejuvenated from here on out, and hopefully they'll go out and play, because this is way too good an offense not to score runs, and we will score runs, and we're not making any excuses, and I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just telling you the truth, and the way it is that I feel like we got some tired bodies out there, and I'm doing my can to give guys rest, but there's just not enough people in the dugout to give guys the rest that they probably need, and it's the reason why we've been fighting for years to try and get that, the roster expanded. But we're never going to win that battle, and it is what it is. And we're going to continue to fight. We're still right in the thick of this thing, and we're just a 5 or 6 game winning streak away from being where we want to be. Come August, because it comes down to August. Whoever plays the best in late July and in August usually gets to the playoffs and wins the championship. So we still got a good shot, and the guys are in a good frame of mind, and they understand where they're at, and I think they're going to come out here and play hard again tonight. They've been playing hard. Things haven't bounced our way. On this road trip. We had a rough road trip, and I just like the way they bounced back yesterday. They're very resilient, and they play hard, and they enjoy the group that they're with. The teammates, they all like each other, and they play hard, and we're just going to continue to go out there and just grind every day, and hopefully we can get this thing turned around.
Justin Geiger came out yesterday, put on a show. It was really a breakout game for him after coming over from Wichita. He was hitting .351 for Wichita, comes over to Laredo, he's hitting under 200.
Yeah.
How good did that feel for you and for him as well?
Well, it happens sometimes. When you trade for a really good player and you give up a really good player, that player wants to come in here and prove that he was worth the trade, and sometimes they put too much pressure on themselves. And I've been kind of talking to Dustin and say, hey man, relax. We know how good you are. You got nothing to prove here. Just go play. But as a player, I understand, because I've been in that situation, and you want to go out and prove to your new teammates that you're a good player. You want to earn their respect, and I mean, he was just trying to do too much, and I think finally he relaxed a little bit and went out and just, had fun and just got back to playing baseball, kind of took the pressure off himself. And, he's a guy that, that can change the momentum of the game anytime, I mean, I think that when he hit that 3-run homer yesterday, I mean, he let the air out of Wichita. I mean, you could feel the air come out of them. So he's that type of player, and, I always believe this talent's going to rise to the top, and he's a very talented guy, and at some point he's going to be a big cog in our lineup, no question.
Greg Hawley's going to the mound tonight for the Laredo Lemurs. He's been really special for this club. He was the player of the week, or the pitcher of the week last week. He has only 7 walks on the season, which is an absolutely amazing number for him. And what do we expect to see out of him tonight and the rotation moving forward?
Well, he's going to do what he always does. He's going to throw strikes. He's going to try and keep his pitch count down, pitch to contact, throw that sinker and throw that slider, and try and get a lot of ground balls, and just do what he's been doing. He's been fantastic. I mean, he's been everything advertised. If you ever had a number one, I mean, that's what you look at. I mean, he went out and threw 9 shutout innings and, didn't get a decision against Grand Prairie. I mean, he's been giving us lots of innings and he's been keeping us in every ball game. And, he's just going to go out and do what he does. He's going to throw strikes, he's going to throw that sinker, he's going to throw that slider and try and get guys to swing the bat and get some ground balls. And, hopefully we can go out and score some runs for him early and let him relax and let him do his thing.
There's a hole in the rotation with Gardner being out. How do you see it coming together for the homestand against Amarillo?
Well, we're working on that. It's hard to replace a guy like, Scotty Gardner. I mean, he was, we thought he was just getting to, I mean, he was just getting better every day as he went out. I mean, he's a special guy. So, we don't believe in making lateral moves, but we brought in a young kid today. He's a nephew of actually Scotty Fletcher, shortstop, playing the big leagues. He comes, highly touted, but, you never know what you're going to get, and you never know how guys are going to react until they get on the mound. We'll see what we got, but we're going to put him in the bullpen. We probably more than likely will get Beckman to make a spot start for us on Sunday, and we'll just continue to hawk the waiver wire and and keep trying to find that piece to replace Scotty. So I mean, it's just it's only been a couple days. It's not easy. These guys don't grow on trees, so it's tough to go out and find capable people to do what your guys have been doing. So we're just going to go out and just do our diligence, do our work, and hopefully eventually we'll find a guy.
Speaking of getting the fresh legs in the roster.
Yeah, I mean, and you can plug him in, who is, very polished AA guy, and I think that he's going to be very special. I mean, he runs real well, has a great approach, can bunt, plays great defense, can really run. Stole 51 bags a couple years ago in AA and stole 31 the next year. I mean, he's just a kind of a different type of guy in our lineup that's going to help us, I think, not only defensively but offensively. We can do some things offensively where he can steal bags, and we can bunt and play some hit and run, but he can also hit. I mean, the guy hit 280 in AA a couple years in a row, so he's a very valuable player, and and especially in this league where everybody's looking for offense, I was very shocked that nobody else was calling him, and we got him. So he's only going to get better. He's coming off an injury for last couple of years, and was in I think he was in rookie ball, rehabbing, and his age, I think that's why he got released. It definitely wasn't because he couldn't play, because he can really play, and we're looking forward to seeing him progress and get his timing and rhythm, and getting back into baseball shape, and back to playing every day. So we're very happy to have Ty. We think he's going to help us a lot.
Laredo Lemurs Baseball is on the air, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade 40, Whataburger of Alice. And now here's Bill Harrington with all your Laredo Lemurs play-by-play action.
All right, Lemurs fans, thanks for joining us tonight. Bill Harrington along with Cameron Sumner here at Uni-Trade Stadium. This is game one of a 4-game set between the Laredo Lemurs and the Amarillo Thunderheads. Lemurs looking to start a winning streak here. They won last night by a final score of 12-3. They look to grab another win here tonight as they start off this homestand against Amarillo. So for the Laredo Lemurs tonight, Greg Hawley's going to take the mound, and for the Thunderheads, Logan Vick is leading off. He's playing out in left field. Jordan Guida is going to bat second. He'll do the catching. Jason Martin, he's playing in center field. He'll bat third. Juan Martinez is at second base. He'll bat in the fourth spot. Stephen Gartrell will work as the DH and bat fifth. Rene Leverett, the first baseman, batting in the sixth spot. Geraldo Valentin will play right field and bat seventh. Christian Ibarra will do the work at shortstop tonight and bat eighth. And Taylor Smart, a familiar name for Amarillo, is going to be at third base, batting in the 9-hole. Holly's up on the mound. We're just about ready to go. Here comes the first pitch, and it is a strike on the outside corner in there at 7:40 p.m. 97 degrees right now here at Uni-Trade Stadium, a toasty one. No balls and one strike. Holly with the high leg kick throws home, and that one swung on. Hit well out to left center field. On the run is Morrison. Morrison going into the gap. He'll reach up. He'll make the catch. And that'll be the first out of the ball game. So Logan Vick got into it pretty good. Morrison trying to find his footing out there in left center field here at Uni-Trade Stadium. This is the first time he's played at this ballpark. So Ty Morrison running underneath that one and making a nice catch. And here comes Jordan Guida to the plate for the Amarillo Thunderheads. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball over to the third baseman. Juan Silverio will try to backhand it. It'll go by him, and it'll go up the third baseline. And a tough play there for Juan Silverio, as we'll have to see if that's going to be a hit or an error. So that's going to be an error given. Silverio might not have even touched the ball, but a little bit tough to tell from this angle. We set up the third baseline here at Uni-Trade Stadium, and anytime there's a play on the left side of the field, it's a little bit hard for us to see it. But nonetheless, stepping into the batter's box is Jason Martin with a runner at first base. And the wind's starting to pick up out there. You can kind of hear it on the crowd mic as the first pitch to Martin comes in. That misses inside, so it's 1 ball and no strikes. Guida over there at first base. Works as the catcher, really not much of a runner. He does have a stolen base on the season as Greg Holly steps off and throws over there. Guida in 2014 when he was with Winnipeg, the Gold Eyes, he never stole a bag. And in 2013, he never stole a bag as well. So only 1 stolen base for him over the last 2.5 seasons. Another toss over to first, and Greg Holly a little bit concerned about him. He is a runner over there, so you do got to be concerned. Jason Martin at the plate. He's looking at a count of 1 ball and no strikes. Just off the bus today for the Laredo Lemurs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one's fouled back. So Martin going to be looking at a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Martin starting the day with a batting average of .296. He's playing in his 32nd game right now for the Amarillo Thunderheads. Last year for the Amarillo Sox, which is the same team. They just basically changed names. A lot of the same cast of characters down there for Amarillo. They also changed their uniforms. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball over to the third baseman. Silverio will grab it. He'll throw to second for 1. Over to first base, and that is a double play. So the error does not hurt the Lemurs. And we're going to head to the bottom of the first inning with Laredo coming up to the plate. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball. No score.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light, which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Do you want to sit in a car for 7 hours, risk a flat tire, traffic, or highway construction delays? Fly direct from Laredo International Airport to Dallas-Fort Worth on American Airlines. From Dallas, you can change planes and take a flight to Tokyo, London, or even Rio de Janeiro. With 4 daily arrivals and departures, American have a connection that works best for you. So avoid spending hours in the car or risk an accident on the highway or even a flat tire. Fly in comfort from Laredo International Airport. Visit AA.com for details and to book a reservation.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft, buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
All right, here's your starting lineup for the Laredo Lemurs. Ty Morrison's going to lead off. He'll play center field. Devontre Richardson's out in right field tonight. He'll bat second. Dustin Geiger's the first baseman and will bat third. Dennis Phipps is going to bat cleanup. He'll play out in left field. Kevin Taylor's the second baseman. He'll bat in the 5 spot. Juan Silverio will bat sixth. He'll play third base. J. Rudy Valdez is the shortstop batting seventh. Byron Wiley back in the lineup tonight, coming off the disabled list. He'll work as the designated hitter. Luke Bailey's the catcher and batting in the 9 spot. Starting pitcher tonight for Amarillo, Leandre Perez. And this is the first time Leandre Perez is pitching in the American Association as he throws, and that's a pitch on the inside corner for a strike to the batter, Ty Morrison. So Ty Morrison coming up to the plate for the first time in a Lemurs uniform here at home. The 0-1 pitch, swung on and a ground ball, softly hit over to the first baseman. Rene Leverett will underhand it. Nope, he's going to drop the ball. And that's going to be an error on Rene Leverett. Ty Morrison reaches on an E, and Devontre Richardson coming up to the plate. So the Lemurs have a base runner in the early going. Now Devontre Richardson was really, before that game yesterday, the only hot Lemur going for them, as they were on that 3-7 out of 10 games, and when they were playing that 4-game stand where they ended up only scoring 2 runs over 4 games, Devontre was staying pretty hot for the Lemurs. He looks at a pitch here. It's on the outside corner for a strike. Richardson actually leads the team with a .357 batting average right now. He's got 8 doubles, 4 homers, and 16 RBIs. No balls and 1 strike, and a lead by Morrison over there at first base. Here's the pitch, a curveball, will miss inside. So I was telling you, Perez, new to the American Association, he has been around independent baseball. He's played in the Can-Am League and in the Frontier League. He was recently with the Frontier League's Normal Corn Belters. Here's the 1 pitch. Nope. Instead of throw over to first base and back in safely is Morrison. So Normal of the Frontier League is in Normal, Illinois. And when he was with that ball club, he put up a record of 1 win and 1 loss and a 5.79 ERA in 2 games. So he didn't have a whole lot of time there. He's a right-handed pitcher. He'll throw. Morrison will run. The pitch is high. The throw down to second base is in time to get Morrison out. So the tag put out on the caught stealing, and that's the goes Perez. He'll throw. And the pitch. Low, ball 4. So Richardson will take a walk, and that replaces Morrison over there, but there is 1 out now in the game. So coming up to the plate is Dustin Geiger. And Geiger with a breakout game yesterday for the Laredo Lemurs when he was in Wichita, and that's the team that traded him. He played with Wichita earlier this year. Geiger hit 2 home runs in the ball game, and he also grabbed a double. And to add to it, he had a total of 5 RBIs in yesterday's ball game. So a fun game yesterday for Dustin Geiger to see him break out a little bit. He has moved his batting average up to 182 since joining the Lemurs. He looks at a fastball that misses in here. His overall batting average for the season is .304. So remember, when he came over here from Wichita, he was batting .351, and his batting average has dropped down to .304 since then. Kind of tells you what kind of slot he was on. Richardson had a little bit of a hesitation going back into the bag at first on the pickoff move by Perez, but he gets back in there safely. So no balls and 1 strike, 1 out in the inning. We're in the bottom of the first. No score in the ball game. Lemurs looking to change that right now, though. Dennis Phipps is on deck for Laredo. And another toss over to first, and Richardson back in safely. Devontre on the season with 10 stolen bases. That leads the Lemurs club. Lemurs as a team has 50 stolen bases this year. Lemurs today currently playing in their 48th game of the year. The 0-1 pitch is low for a ball. Laredo starts the day with a record of 24 wins and 23 losses, so they're a game over 500 right now. They're 3.5 games back behind the Joplin Blasters. Joplin has lost 3 in a row. All 3 of those came at the hands of the Amarillo ThunderHeads. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. Swung on a ground ball over to the left side. That's going to sneak through into left field, a base hit. Dustin Geiger gets himself another base hit. After the hot day yesterday, he starts off with a hit here today. And that'll bring up Dennis Phipps. All Amarillo with a record of 22 wins and 23 losses. So they're 2 games back in the win column behind the Laredo Lemurs, but both teams have the same number of losses. So Amarillo's 4.5 games out behind Joplin. It's a tight division here in the South. It's the tightest division going. The next tightest one is in the Central with Sioux City and Kansas City. Here's Phipps with runners at first and second and 1 down. So Phipps, the left fielder for the Laredo Lemurs tonight. Kind of odd to see Phipps out in left. He's usually a right fielder for Laredo. The 1-0 pitch. A fastball low. He did get tossed out of yesterday, umpire had, and he started walking down the first baseline, what he thought was ball 4. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that comes up and hits Phipps. It was a breaking ball, and that's going to load the bases for the Lemurs. So hopefully Phipps is okay. I don't think he was hurt that bad. It was a breaking ball.
And Richardson having there, and it'd really be a problem for the Lemurs if he missed any time.
Yeah, and just some breaking news for you we did not get to in the pregame show as Kevin Taylor steps into the batter's box. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the outside part of the plate. Abel Nieves no longer with the team. A team from the Mexican League has signed him, and the Laredo Lemurs have let him out of the contract to go and play in Mexico. It's going to be about a month apparently, and the Lemurs are hoping they get him back. The 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Taylor with the bases loaded. So Abel Nieves and his .335 batting average is not with the team right now. The Lemurs thought that they might have him for today's game, but apparently he needed to get on a plane and get to where he was going. I'm not 100% sure on what team he's going to go. This is loaded for Laredo. And the ground ball over to the second base of the Lemurs. So a long story short, according to talking to the umpires and the guys down there do, it's a little bit tough to get the full story up here. We're going to take a timeout, come back with some more baseball for you. The Lemurs leave the bases loaded. Well, they leave 2 runners on. They had the bases loaded when the ball was hit. We're going to head to the top of the second inning. No score here. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Tokyo Garden of Laredo is located at 2515 East Del Mar Boulevard, and they serve the best sushi in town. Stop by Tokyo Garden for a quick lunch or a fancy dinner. Either way, you're going to enjoy our fine cuisine. Did you just get off work? Then come on by and check out our happy hour specials. Tokyo Garden, where you'll find the best sushi in Laredo.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Pro Mega Signs of Laredo is there for all of your printing and signage needs. We can be found at 1615 Jackman Road in Laredo, or you can reach us by phone at 956-723-2110. Again, that's 956-723-2110. If you need a sign, big or small, come to Pro Mega Signs of Laredo, where your print job is just around the corner.
All right, for the Thunderheads coming up to the plate, it's going to be Juan Martinez. He'll be followed by Stefan Gartrell, and then Rene Leverett will get an opportunity. No score in the ball game. The Lemurs had the bases loaded, and Kevin Taylor ends up grounding into a double play. So a missed opportunity there by Laredo, and the first pitch to Juan Martinez is in there for a strike on the inside part of the plate. So Greg Hawley doing what Greg Hawley does, getting ahead of batters and throwing strikes. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, another lovely day here in Laredo. A little bit of a wind problem, though, right now. It is very breezy. The 1-1 pitch. And that's a slider on the outside corner. Good pitch there. That's in there for a strike. Now you walk into the ballpark here at Uni-Trade Stadium. Between the parking lot and the ballpark, the 1-2 pitch is swung and a missed. A slider, strike 3. And if you have hair, you could easily get your hair blown dry really quickly from going to your car up to the ballpark. I don't have any hair, so I'm not too worried about it. Cameron just went with the new Buzz haircut. You're looking good there, my friend.
Thank you. I was going to chime in there and say that was a 4-pitch at bat after Hawley's first inning was 5 pitches total.
Now timeout's called as Stefan Gartrell was not ready for the pitch. And so Gartrell and Hawley, they had the same issue back in Amarillo. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, hit high and deep into left field. This one's might get out of here. Phipps is at the warning track. He leaps, and it's gone. A home run for Stefan Gartrell. Just like that, it's a 1-0 game for the Amarillo Thunderheads. Rene Leverret coming up to the plate. So Gartrell rounds the bags. And Gartrell now with his second home run of the season against the Laredo Lemurs. Gartrell has 7 home runs since coming over to Amarillo. When he was with Fargo earlier this season, he was not doing very well, and since he's come to Amarillo, he's picked it up a little bit. Of course, 7 home runs helps. And Rene Leverret getting ready to step into the batter's box. 1-0 in favor of the Amarillo Thunderheads as Rene Leverret takes a big hack and fouls that one back. I'm not sure, maybe Cameron, you could check on this. I don't think Hawley's given up a home run all season long. Just off the top of my head. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, swung on and a fly ball out to right field. Hustling in is Richardson, going out as the second baseman Taylor. Taylor's going to make the catch, and that's going to do it for Rene Leverret. The second out of the inning right there. 1-0 Amarillo. Here comes Geraldo Valentin.
Entering the batter's box are Amarillo, number 23, the right fielder,
Yeah, just looking at my stats here, Hawley had not given up a home run all season long. As the first pitch to Geraldo Valentin is in there for a strike, and I was kind of surprised to see that one go out of the ballpark. The 0-1 pitch is low. And it kind of shook me really quickly and going, I don't think he gave up a home run yet this season. The 1-1 pitch swung and a ground ball over to the left side. Backing up on it, Silverio. He'll square up, throw over to first base, and that'll take care of Geraldo Valentin. That takes care of the Thunderheads, but they strike. Stefan Gartrell hits his 7th home run of the season for the Amarillo Thunderheads, and it's a 1-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
In over 40 years, nobody's helped more families achieve the American dream of home ownership than Armadillo. In fact, Armadillo Homes has built more homes than all other builders combined. And there are reasons for this: integrity, responsibility, service, and of course quality, helping the Laredo family. Think Armadillo Homes. Armadillo Homes.
It speaks for itself here at Whataburger. It's going to be hot, it's going to be fresh. It's almost like when you were a kid and you wake up in the morning, you can smell mom. Eggs here. I like these on the go. We're cooking breakfast for you at Whataburger.
All right, for the Lemurs coming up to the plate, it's going to be Juan Silverio, Jayudi Valdez, and Byron Wiley. It's going to be interesting to see Wiley come up to the plate. We haven't seen him hit in quite a while. He's been on the disabled list for the Laredo Lemurs. And remember, he was in a big slide there with Laredo. So hopefully his knee is doing a lot better. And hopefully he's able to pick things up for the Laredo Lemurs. I love Byron Wiley. He's a great guy, a fun guy to talk to, a very personable person. And we wish him the best down there. We want to see him do well as Juan Silverio takes a fastball up. So Wiley will be coming up third this inning. Silverio in yesterday's game had a hot day. He had a hot one as the next pitch misses low. Silverio almost hit for the cycle. He had a double, a triple, and a single. So it was a home run short of a cycle. The belt on the... Did I give you the umpires out on first base and Lance Sailhammer? So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Amarillo. A solo home run by Stefan Gartrell. This is the first game of a 4-game set between these two clubs. And the 2-2 pitch is very high. Then the Lemurs hit the road again. Home for 4. And then they head up to Sioux City to take on one of the best teams in the American Association, the Sioux City Explorers. Here's the 3-2 kicking deal. Swung and a pop-up. Shallow right center, going out the second baseman Martinez. He's waving for it. He'll make the catch. He was telling everybody, get out of the way. I got it. And there was nobody around him. So he didn't have to worry too much. I thought he was trying to tread water there for a second, the way he was moving his arms. Trying to swim out there through the wind of Laredo. Not easy to do. Here comes Jehudi Valdez. Yes, the Lemurs, they leave here after the 4 games, and their last game's on Monday against Amarillo. And then they'll have a day off to travel up to Sioux City and start a 4-game setup there. Here's the pitch to Valdez. He shows bunt. The ball comes high and tight, and Jehudi Valdez has to defend himself by fouling the ball off. So for some reason, the home plate umpire is stepping out in front of home plate and saying something. That was kind of weird. And then Rene Leverret, the first baseman, kind of put his arms out wide like, what's happening? I'm kind of curious myself. Looked like a foul ball, and that was about it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung and a foul back. So quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So the Lemurs are making a long trip up to Sioux City. And then they'll have a day off to come back home. And they're going to need the day offs going up there and the day off coming home. It's a long trip. I think it's going to be at least a 20-hour ride in the bus. No balls and 2 strikes to Valdez. He gets into the batter's box. The umpire gives him time to do so. And the 0-2 swung on and a fly ball into shallow right center. Coming in is Valentin, going out the second baseman. Valentin's going to make a basket catch. And that'll be the second out of the inning. So the right fielder puts that one away. And here comes Byron Wiley to the plate. Wiley, a left-handed batter for the Laredo Lemurs. He's batting 190 on the season, playing in his 32nd game of the year. He has 100 at-bats on the year, and he's got 19 base hits. He's picked up 4 doubles, has a triple and a home run, and 8 RBIs on the year. His last game was played on June 27th against the Grand Prairie Airhogs. He picked up 2 hits that night. The pitch. He sees one miss outside. He was doing very well in the walk category. In fact, he was in the top 5 in walks when he went on the disabled list. He has since dropped out of that top 5. The 1-0 pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. Of course, when you're not playing, you're not accumulating walks, so it's a little bit hard to stay up there. But he does have 22 walks on the season, so he's got a good eye. He's got a 1-1 count right now. 1-0 Amarillo. The pitch. A check swing. Wiley goes around on that one. So make it a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. A breaking ball from the starting pitcher, Leonde Perez. Wiley this year here at Uni-Trade Stadium batting 125. So not doing too well here at home for sure. When he goes out on the road, it's a little bit better with a 224 batting average. The 1-2 pitch, a curveball. And Leonde Perez started heading off the field. He thought he had strike 3. He's going to have to go back up on the mound and throw another pitch. Well, we'll see if Byron Wiley can take advantage of it. Maybe Leonde Perez will lose a little bit of focus after thinking he had called strike 3 there. Here's the 2-2. A breaking ball in the dirt, and a good job there by Wiley to lay off of that one. After sitting on the bench and watching games for a while, it's not easy to come back into the batter's box. And the Lemurs didn't take batting practice today. They got off the bus. They were told to get to the ballpark at 5 o'clock tonight because, we got off the bus around 11:30 and a lot of guys were tired. Here's the 3-2. Called strike 3, a pitch that looked like it was up. Wiley does not get the benefit of the doubt there, and he goes down looking in his first at-bat off the disabled list. The Lemurs go down in order. We're heading to the 3rd. 1-0 Amarillo. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Since Extending Technologies opened for business in 1998, they have worked to establish solid relationships with their clients. They are set to maintain the highest standards of service and integrity and to perform work of only the highest quality, achieving client satisfaction on every project. They have attained these goals through a tradition of care and professional pride. They serve a wide range of corporations and small business franchises. Extending Technologies has the tools and expertise for any technical need that your business may have. Call us here in Laredo at 725-2654. That's 725-2654 for Ascending Technologies.
Sweating through another barn burner at your team's bar?
Sure am.
Wish you had some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in meeting new people. Epic fist bumps, epic forearm bumps, epic or chest bumps, touchdown dancing, break dancing, line dancing, dancing like nobody's watching, awesome refreshment for the win, and one-of-a-kind Rocky Mountain cold refreshment. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma. Pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres. Pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo. Carne asada con ganas solo en H-E-B.
All right, Greg Holly back up on the hill for the Laredo Lemurs. We go to the third inning. And the Lemurs are down 1-0. A Stefan Gartrell home run the last time the Amarillo Thunderheads were up. And they lead 1-0 here as the first pitch to Christian Ibarra misses a little bit low and away. That's the first time we're seeing Ibarra. He was not with the Amarillo Thunderheads last time that the Lemurs played against him, as he looks at a strike here. A fastball from Greg Holly. Holly will quickly wind and throw again, and that pitch is on the outside corner as well. So 1-2 strikes. Ibarra playing in his 13th game of the year for Amarillo. He sees another pitch, and he swings and grounds it up to the left side. Jeudy Valdez is there. He'll fire over to first base, and it's a strike. So that'll take care of Christian Ibarra. A 6-3 putout, and Taylor Smart coming up to the plate. Ibarra, by the way, batting .111 over those 12 games. So a little bit more about Greg Holly. A record of 3 wins and 4 losses this year, 1.42 ERA. He was coming off a week when he was the American Association Pitcher of the Week. And he had 2 great outings, one against Grand Prairie and one against Joplin. He ended up only getting 1 win in those 2 outings, as Taylor Smart takes high. The second game on July 5th against Grand Prairie, the Lemurs ended up losing that game 1-0 in 10 innings. The 1-0 pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Holly in that game went 8 2/3 without giving up a run. He gave up 4 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 5 batters. He throws the 1-1 pitch here. That is a breaking ball that goes on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Against Joplin, the previous outing, he picked up the W, going 7 1/3 innings. Gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He gave up 4 hits that day, walked a batter, and struck out 1. The 1-2 delivery swung on and missed. A late swing there by Taylor Smart on the fastball. And Logan Vicks coming up to the plate with 2 down. We're in the third inning, 1-0 Amarillo. So that run that Amarillo got today is the first earned run that Greg Holly has given up over 4+ games. Pretty amazing. The last time he gave up an earned run was back on June 15th against Three Rivers. Here's the pitch to Logan Vick. Vick gets into one, a line drive into center field. He'll get a base hit. So Vick taking the first offering that he sees out of the hand of Greg Holly, and he'll get a single with it. So the leadoff man for the Thunderheads is on first base, and here comes Jordan Gaida to the plate. So Holly is really the definition of a number 1 guy here in the American Association. You look at the standings in the American Association for the league leaders in pitching. Well, Greg Holly's right at the top. He has a 1.42 ERA. And it doesn't really go by your win-loss record, as Logan Vick shuffles out to a lead, and he tries to steal the bag, and the throw by Bailey is a little bit offline, and Vick has a stolen bag. It was funny to watch Logan Vick take his lead from first base. He shuffle step, went as soon as Greg Holly made a move towards home plate. And there were little tiny steps. Never seen a guy do that before, as if he was trying to sneak over to second. I'll be very, very quiet here. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, so Holly leads the league in ERA. He's thrown in 63 in our 3rd innings. The pitch swung on and fouled off. That goes squibbing up over by the Lemurs dugout. 1-0 Amarillo. They have a runner at second base and 2 down here in the inning. It has been fun to watch Greg Holly throw this year. He's been super impressive. The pitch, driving to left field, a base hit. Coming around third base is Logan Vick. Here comes the pitch, or the throw from Phipps, and it's cut off. And coming in sliding is Logan Vick. So a run comes in to score, and that's going to make it 2-0 in favor of Amarillo. So Jordan Gaida with a base hit, scoring Logan Vick. making it 2-0 Thunderheads. So Jason Martin coming up to the plate. Last time Greg Hawley gave up 2 earned runs was on that same game on June 15th against Three Rivers. Here's the pitch to Martin. He'll foul the first pitch off that he sees. Hawley did get a start against Amarillo, back up in Amarillo on June 20th. That was the last time the Lemurs were there. The Lemurs won the game 11-0 over the Thunderheads, and Hawley went 8 shutout innings. The 0-1 pitch swung on and a pop fly. Shallow left field, going out the shortstop. Valdez waving for it. He says, I got it. He'll make the catch, and that's going to do it for Amarillo. They end up picking up 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We're going to the bottom of the third. Lemurs down 2-0. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
We'd like to imagine that if you're listening to this, it's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning, and the grill smells like heaven. And what do you know? Your friends just arrived with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few new friends to enjoy them with. Here's hoping we're right, and you're not just stuck in traffic. Here's hoping it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2015 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific Boys and Girls Club. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Todos sabemos que podemos lograr más cuando estamos listos. Por eso, decidí matricularme en Texas A&M International University. Quiero un título universitario y las oportunidades que me brindará. TAMU me ha recibido a mí y a 7,000 estudiantes de todo el mundo. TAMU me impulsa a ser grande, enciende mi mente y hace mi corazón latir. Imagina las posibilidades cuando eres impulsado por TAMU.
Inscríbete ahora para verano y otoño. Visita tamu.edu y sé impulsado.
3, 2, 1. Number 1. That's Laredo's #1 Chevy dealer. Family Chevrolet turns the best day ever into the best month ever. 15% off. Not good enough, but 25% off. Now that makes it the best month ever. With over 600 vehicles available, makes it the best pricing ever. 2015 Equinox, 2015 Traverse. Not 15, but 25% off. And the best financing rates for the best month ever. 1.9 interest. Family Chevrolet of Laredo.com. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet. Family.
All right, for the Lemurs, Luke Bailey lead. Lemurs down 2-0, so they're looking to get their offense going here as they have to work back into this ball game. Here's the pitch, and it's very high for a ball. So for Leandro Perez, he's out of Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic. He's the starting pitcher for Amarillo. 6'1", 190 pounds. And he throws the 1-1 delivery. Swung on and up. High fly ball into left field. Coming in is Logan Vick. Vick's got a beat on this one. He'll get underneath it to make the catch. So a fly out to left, and we go up to the top of the order for Ty Morrison. This is Perez's 3rd season in independent baseball. He started 2015 with the Normal Corn Belters of the Frontier League. He made his professional debut at age 17 in 2007 in the Dominican Summer League with the Kansas City Royals organization. In 08, 09, and 2010, he played in the rookie leagues in the United States. Morrison shows bunt here, bunts at the ball, and bunts it over the head of the catcher, Gaida. Gaida tries to chase it down, but it falls to the ground. 2-0 Amarillo. Perez played 6 seasons in the Royals organization, reaching up to high A ball with Wilmington. Played there for 19 games and made 12 starts back in 2012. He put up a 3.74 ERA. No balls and 1 strike. To Ty Morrison, one of the newest Lemurs. The pitch. Swung on, that one's chopped foul at the plate. Lemurs picked up another tie today. Ty Fletcher has also joined the team. He's going to be a new lefty in the bullpen for the Laredo Lemurs. We are full of ties. No balls and 2 strikes. I mean, a lot of teams will usually have a lot of Mikes or Johns. The 0-2 pitch is low, tops off the top of the plate and goes back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Laredo Lemurs have ties. They like the word tie. Tie fighter. Tie food. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ty Morrison. And the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and a ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Ty Morrison. He's going to round the bag at first base very hard and then pull up and come on back in. So Morrison with the base hit. That's the second time tonight he's been on the base pass for the Laredo Lemurs. And that's going to bring up Devontae Richardson. So a little bit more about Leandre Perez. Perez played in 2013 with the Newark Bears in the Can-Am League. That was the last time the Newark Bears were around. They have since gone under. There is nobody playing in that ballpark in Newark. Here's the pitch to Devontae Richardson, a strike on the inside part of the plate. In 2014, he was with the Quebec Capitals of the Can-Am League. He made 18 appearances for them, all starts. And he put up a record of 6 wins and 7 losses. No balls and 1 strike. Runner at first base for Laredo. They're down 2. Here's a swing and a ground ball over to the shortstop. Ibrera will bobble the baseball. The ball goes somehow over to the second baseman. Amarillo ThunderHeads are able to get 1 out, even though the ball was bobbled by the shortstop Ibrera. So 6-4 put out there. And that'll be the second out of the inning, and Richardson reaches on a fielder's choice. Dustin Geiger coming up to the plate now. Lemurs down 2. Well, Geiger, the way he swung the bat yesterday with 1 swing on the bat here, he can tie this ball game right up. The pitch, he swings and lines one into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Richardson is going to pull up at second base as Valentin is all over that baseball in shallow right field. So Richardson up to second. Geiger with a base hit, his second of the game. Dennis Phipps now coming up to the plate. Well, Dennis Phipps can also hit a home run, and that would give the Lemurs a lead. Phipps in his first at bat was hit by a pitch, so really no opportunity for Phipps to swing the bat there. He got one on his wrist. And Phippsy, he kind of remembers things like that. Puts it in his brain and says, you know what? I think I'll hit a home run here. As that was not a pitch, by the way. Phipps called a timeout, stepped out of the batter's box. So he was kind of expecting Leandre Perez to throw a little bit quick, and Phipps wanted to step out. Runners at first and second and 2 down. The pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hit high in the air into left field. Going back on the ball is Vic. He has plenty of room out there. He'll pull up in front of the warning track and make the catch. So Phipps hits it well, but not well enough to take it out to the warning track and get it out of the ballpark. We're through 3 innings. In this inning, the Lemurs had no runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left. We're going to go to the 4th. Cameron Songer's back for you. He's had a few days off. He was resting up while we were on the road trip. 2-0 Amarillo.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubba-da, boom, which led to you. Miller Lite, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Crowd at the bar making you sweat?
Uh-huh.
Could you use some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in epic nights, maximum refreshment, great times, awesome memories, high fives, smiles, Rocky Mountain refreshment, Blue Mountain refreshment, quadruple epic refreshment, killer parties, and totally refreshed killer parties. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Capital Care EMS.
All right, so time for the 4th inning here at Uni-Trade Stadium. The Lemurs are down 2-0. Greg Hawley up on the mound for Laredo, and here's Cameron Songer to take it through the next 3 innings.
Thanks, Bill. Juan Martinez will lead things off for the ThunderHeads. It's 4, 5, and 6 due up this inning to face the righty Greg Hawley. He's an intimidating presence on the mound, 6'8", 245 pounds out of Texas Christian University, the reigning American Association Pitcher of the Week, and leads the league in ERA. First pitch fastball misses high and outside to Juan Martinez. As the ThunderHeads continue their second trip through the batting order, Martinez 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in his first plate appearance. Here's the 1-0 pitch, misses low and inside. Quickly the count 2-0. That's something we haven't really seen much of from Hawley. That is falling behind in the count. He's been ahead in the count. He's kept his pitch count low, although he has given up 2 runs. Time called before the pitch, and Hawley's not happy about it. We've seen both teams do this quite a bit. And that is calling time as the pitcher gets into the windup. It's a mind game. Greg Hawley didn't make the throw that time. he's not happy about it. Here's the pitch, swung on, grounded to third base. Silverio can't handle it. Goes off the heel of his glove and trickles into foul territory. He'll have to chase it down. And reaching on what's probably an error, Juan Martinez standing on first base. Score it an E5. It's the second one today, committed by Silverio. And the leadoff man aboard for the Thunderheads in the top of the fourth. Now, we heard before the game, Lemurs manager Pete Incaviglia talking about mentally and physically tired players on his team. Pickoff throw goes over to first, just a lob toss. And diving back in headfirst is Martinez. You see in it here with Juan Silverio, who's some plays that weren't exactly routine, but plays that he should make for sure at the hot corner. First pitch misses inside, and the throw goes over to first from the catcher Bailey, just making sure that Martinez is not falling asleep over there on the base pass. He's back in standing up. The batter, by the way, is Stephen Gartrell. Gartrell's 1-for-1 with a solo home run back in the second inning. That was the first run of the game. The Thunderheads add another one in third. This one chopped back up the middle. On the run is the shortstop Valdez. His only plays over at first as he makes the throw on the run to retire Gartrell. Martinez advances 90 feet up to second base with one out for the Thunderheads in the top of the fourth. They have a runner on second base. It's a 6-3 put out, and it will bring up Rene Leverett. Gartrell was really hustling up the line. He's listed at 6'3", 230 and had a bomb in the first inning. Kind of surprising that he has the wheels to get up the first base line. That was a pretty close play, but Valdez kept his composure, didn't try to do too much, and just got the out where the Lemurs could get it. So no force here, and a runner in scoring position for Rene Leverett. He is a dangerous bat, 7 home runs on the season, and a .275 batting average. Swings at the first pitch, hits it to short. Diving attempt, no good there by Valdez. It's going to get into left field. Rounding third and heading for home. The throw is over everything. It bounces off the backstop. Leverett has a single, and he will advance to second on the throw. So it's an RBI single for Rene Leverett that brings in Juan Martinez. It's an unearned run as Martinez had reached on an error. And Leverett gets the RBI single and up to second base. It's now 3-0 Thunderheads. And the Lemurs going to look for some answers here. So it's pitching coach Mike Meyer coming out to the mound to chat with his starter, Greg Hawley. So Leverett stands on second base. He singled to drive in the run and then reached second on the throw. Question is whether or not that was a throwing error. They will score it an error on the throw. No, they won't. There's already 2 errors up on the board for the Lemurs. Those were the 2 errors committed at third base by Silverio. I think Leverett probably could have reached second on the throw either way. So first pitch in there for a strike to Geraldo Valentin as the mound visit is over. Just a quick one by the pitching coach Mike Meyer, trying to get his starter to settle down. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed as he was reaching for one on the outside half. Nice breaking ball there by Greg Hawley. And the count quickly 0-2 to Geraldo Valentin. Valentin is a right-handed hitter, hitting .279 on the season. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away. Valentin, a righty who hits better against right-handed pitching. .285 versus righties and .257 against lefties. He's in his second season with the club in Amarillo. Before the throw, Hawley turns and looks at the runner on second base. No one covering second there, and Leverett, not a base-stealing threat, but taking a pretty healthy lead off of second base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses high and outside. Count evens up at 2-2. Runner on second and 1 out for the Thunderheads in the top of the fourth. They've scored 1 in this inning and the previous 2 innings. It's 3-0 in favor of the visitors wearing blue tops. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? He did not. Wow. Hawley now glancing over his shoulder at the first base umpire who's standing over near second base. Due to the runner being there, I'm not sure he had a good look at that. So count full. Here's the stretch and the delivery. It's hit in the air to the left side. Foul. So Valentin doing a nice job of staying alive. He's from Puerto Rico, 32 years old. He's played for a bunch of different teams, including teams in the Royals, Mariners, and Marlins organizations. He has an opportunity to really help the Thunderheads break this game open. Payoff pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right side. And it's dropping quickly, a diving attempt in foul territory, and Richardson couldn't get to it. That was hit right into no man's land. Devontre Richardson, playing in right field today for the Lemurs, lost his hat on the run, sold out on the grass, but it just landed in a perfect spot. So Valentin will get another chance to hit. Everyone returns to their spots. Greg Hawley goes to the rosin bag. We'll play with that for a moment. The Lemurs just looking to get out of this inning without it getting any worse. It's 3-0 Amarillo. They have their 3 runs on 4 hits, and they've committed 1 error. Lemurs, no runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Hawley finally wins the battle. And Valentin goes down on strikes. He's now 0 for 2, and that will bring up Christian Ibarra. So now 2 outs for the Thunderheads. The runner's still in scoring position in the form of Rene Leverett. He is a big man, 6'2", 280. So a hit to the outfield, he's going to have to really haul if it's not particularly well hit. First pitch misses high and inside on Ibarra. Ibarra is a rookie in this league, 22 years old, played his college ball at LSU. Looks at a breaking ball there, and it's in there. Evens up the count at 1-1. Thunderheads have put up a run in each of the past 3 innings, including this one. 3-0, as that one misses high and outside. 2-1 now the count to Ibarra. He is a former draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2013. Chose to return to college for his senior season and wasn't drafted again. Here's the 2-1. Taking all the way. Strike 2 as it catches the outer corner. So Hawley's pitch count, which had stayed low for the most part before this inning, now up to 48. This will be pitch number 49 as he comes, sets, and delivers. Swung on and missed the breaking ball for strike 3. For the Thunderheads, they get 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave a man on second base. We're through 3.5 at Uni-Trade Stadium. Amarillo leads 3-0.
Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Catholic College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800. Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Kaplan College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800.
Kaplan College does not guarantee employment or career advancement. Information about programs at www.kaplancollege.com/consumer-info.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. The chicken is hot and fresh. It's got melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and then the honey mustard adds a nice sweet flavor to it.
All the flavors come together just perfect. I mean, not only do I want to eat it, but I keep wanting to look at it.
The crunchiness of the bacon adds a really nice texture.
Honey mustard and chicken just go together. You know, sweet and savory, it's a perfect mix.
Try the new Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. Only at Whataburger for a limited time.
Hey Lemurs fans, every Thursday night at Uni-Trade Stadium is a Thirsty Thursday. Come on out and enjoy cold Miller Lite draft beers for only $1. That's right, beer for $1. You can get tickets online at LaredoLemurs.com or by phone at 956-7-LEMURS. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Back here at Uni-Trade Stadium, the Lemurs trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kevin Taylor leading things off for the Lemurs and takes a first pitch breaking ball in the outer half for strike 1. Taylor is a left-handed hitter to face the righty Leondi Perez. Perez winds and fires, and this one misses low and inside, evening up the count at 1-1. It was 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th for the Thunderheads. Lemurs still looking for their first run of the ball game. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, grounded to the right side, playable at second base by Martinez. He gathers and throws to first in plenty of time, and there's 1 out for the Lemurs in the bottom of the 4th. Taylor grounds out. He's now 0 for 2 on the game, and that will bring up Juan Silverio. Silverio is 0 for 1 so far today. He stands 6'1", 220 pounds. He's playing third base today. He's already committed 2 errors defensively for the Lemurs. One of them led to a run, the other one did not. He's going to try to make up for that at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. He swings and hits this one in the air. Foul down the third base line. That was a hard line drive. But right into the seats. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside. 1-1 the count to Juan Silverio, as Perez just keeps working on the mound. He will wind and fire. Breaking ball swung on, fouled off down the third base line. That fooled Silverio. He was way out in front of it. He managed to just get a piece of it. Wind picks back up here at Uni-Trade Stadium as it blows from right to left. And here's the pitch, swung on and missed, and that's strike 3 on Juan Silverio. He goes down swinging, and just like that, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th for the Lemurs. They have really struggled against Perez so far today, just scattering 3 hits. They did leave 2 on in the first inning and 2 on in the third inning, but they went 3 up, 3 down in the second, and at risk of doing that once again this inning. That's just the second strikeout of the game for Perez on the mound. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, here comes Jeudy Valdez. Valdez will take his time to dig into the right-handed batter's box. This is Perez's team debut with the Thunderheads. First pitch, swung on, hit foul over the backstop. Talked a little bit about Leondy Perez earlier. He's 25 years old, his 3rd season in independent baseball this year. He started the 2015 season with the normal Corn Belters. This is his debut in the American Association as a pitcher. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, swung on, hit back up the middle, played it short on the short hop by Ibarra. He gathers and throws, and it's 3 up and 3 down for the Lemurs in the bottom of the 4th inning. We've played 4 full at Uni-Trade Stadium. It's 3-0 Amarillo. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. Real proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo area and supply slip sliding fun for kids of all ages. Texas Inflatable Rentals has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Rentals at 956-436-3909 or at texasinflatablerentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slides.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Come slide in postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com. Top of the 5th inning here as the Lemurs trail 3-0 in the series opener of a 4-game set between the Lemurs and the Thunderheads. Leading things off will be Taylor Smart, number 9 hitter in the Thunderheads batting order tonight. And then the lineup will turn over. Logan Vick on deck, Jordan Gaida in the hole. Righty-righty matchup here with Hawley taking his time, now delivering. First pitch in there for a called strike. Checking his swing was smart, but doesn't matter. It was in the strike zone anyway. He glances over his shoulder, takes a quick look at the umpire. Doubt any words were exchanged. Base is empty, no outs. As the Thunderheads try to strike again here in the 5th. Swung on, fouled back into the backstop as it rolls off the backstop and towards the Lemurs dugout. And the count now 0-2 to Taylor Smart. He's hitting .221 on the season, but that's .196 against righties and .321 against lefties. Unfortunately for him, Greg Hawley is a righty. Hawley winds and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses low. Blocked well by Bailey. Keeps it in front and throws back to the pitcher. So Smart is 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out in the 3rd inning. That was the 2nd out in that inning, and then the Thunderheads scored a run. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Smart leading off this inning, strikes out. He's now 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, both swinging. Lineup will turn over here for the Thunderheads as they begin their 3rd trip through the batting order. And here comes Logan Vick. Vic has been a thorn in the Lemurs side so far today. He singled in the third inning and came around to score after stealing second base. So he basically manufactured that run himself. And in a low-scoring game, every run matters. The lefty digs in, looks at a first pitch changeup, catches the outside corner for strike one. Vic is playing left field today for the Thunderheads. He's hitting .317 on the season. Former Baylor Bear. He's 24 years old. 0-1 offering. Swung on and missed. He was chasing one in the dirt, and the count now 0-2. Base is empty. Thunderheads up 3-0 on the Lemurs in the top of the fifth inning. Hawley working from the first base side of the rubber, the right-handed pitcher. Comes set and delivers. That one just misses low. Changeup. Vic certainly thought about it. That's the kind of pitch that often tempts hitters. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, foul down the third base line. And that will get out of play. Out towards the children's play area at Uni-Trade Stadium. But not quite that far. The play area is well beyond the left field fence. It's 325 to left field, 345 to right, and the wind at Uni-Trade Stadium often blows out to left field. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. 2-2 now the count to Logan Vic. He's a lefty who hits well against righties, hitting .331 versus right-handed pitchers, just .256 against lefties, a former 11th round pick of the Cleveland Indians. He faces a 2-2 pitch, hits it in the air towards right center field. That's going back, but Morrison will get under it and make the catch in the shallow right center field gap, and there's now 2 away in the Thunderheads' half of the fifth inning. So Vic has now flown out to center field twice. He's 1 for 3 in the game. That will bring up Jordan Gaida, the catcher, who's reached base both times he's come to the plate today. Technically 1 for 2, an RBI single in the third, and back in the first he reached on an error, and then was doubled off when Martin hit into a double play. Showing bunt, laying it down, but it's foul as it rolls straight behind him and into the backstop. So Greg Hawley just threw his 60th pitch of the game with that one. He has 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the fifth inning. Thunderheads leading 3-0. These teams get reacquainted. It's been a little while since they've played each other. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit foul into the net. And it bounces back into the field of play. These teams will be very familiar with each other by the end of the season as they play a total of 22 times over the course of the season. That's out of a 100-game season. So nearly a quarter of the games that both of these teams will play will be against each other. Here's the third series between the two teams. It's the second time Amarillo has been here. They're the first team to make a second visit to Uni-Trade Stadium. They were the opening day opponent for the Lemurs. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Greg Hawley gets 2 strikeouts in the fifth inning. And the Thunderheads go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the fifth, but they still hold a 3-0 lead. Lemurs will come up to bat in the bottom.
Looking to travel this summer? If the year-round flights to Las Vegas aren't fit for you, take advantage of Allegiant's direct flights from Laredo International Airport to Orlando. For as low as $119 round trip, you and your family can be in Orlando in 2.5 hours. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials. Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit hot dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito hamburger and Cabrito hot dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs, now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array of services from physical therapy to our newest service, orthopedic surgery. Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic is changing orthopedic care one athlete at a time. Visit our website at laredosportsmed.com for more information.
Back here at Uni-Trade Stadium as the Lemurs coming up to bat in the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be 8-9-1. Byron Wiley, Luke Bailey, and Ty Morrison. As Wiley will dig into the left-handed batter's box to face the right-handed hurler, Leonti Perez, who's making his team debut and his first ever appearance in the American Association as a pitcher. He did play with the Quebec Capitals in 2014 in the Can-Am League, and again in the Can-Am League back in 2013 with the Newark Bears. So he's probably familiar with some of the teams in the American Association, but this is his first game as a member of the American Association. First pitch in there for a strike at the letters against Wiley. Wiley's making his first appearance in a while after he'd been on the disabled list for about 2 weeks with the Lemurs. 0 for 1 so far today. Swings and misses at that one. A mighty cut from Byron Wiley, and he misses. The former Kansas State Wildcat and Cincinnati Red, I should say, in the Reds organization. He never reached the majors. Former 22nd round pick back in 2008. This is his second season with the Lemurs. 0-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. Wiley is prolific at getting on base by way of the walk. He's walked 22 times and had 100 official at-bats before hitting the disabled list on June 28th. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's in the dirt. Off the face mask of the catcher, Gaida, and bounces away from him. That's why they make the catchers wear the face mask, boys and girls. The pitch can bounce up off the plate and hit the catcher in the face. All that expensive dental work when he was a kid, it's all intact because of that nice face mask. It's good stuff. Wiley will dig back into the left-handed batter's box. It's a 2-2 pitch. From the windup, here it is, and misses high and tight. Wiley thought about checking his swing, began the process of swinging, but didn't even come close to even having it be called a check swing. So the count now full to the leadoff hitter, Byron Wiley. He's trying to get on. Payoff pitch, swung on, hit in the air to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. A one-hopper to the right fielder, Valentin. He fires it back in there to second base. And standing on first base with his first hit in a while is Byron Wiley. He's now 1 for 2. He does have 2 stolen bases this season already after 3 last year in 47 games. This is his 32nd game with the club. That's nice for the Lemurs. They didn't have a hit last inning. They had 2 hits in the third and weren't able to make anything happen. This is the first leadoff hit in an inning for the Lemurs. They did get a leadoff man aboard in the first by way of an error. Luke Bailey to the plate, fouls the first one into the screen. 0-1 the count. 3-0 is the score. Thunderheads have the lead. They scored 1 run in innings 2, 3, and 4. And now each team has 4 hits in the game. Lemurs have committed 3 errors. Thunderheads have committed 1. Bailey, the right-handed hitter, digs back in. Lineup ready to turn over with Ty Morrison on deck. Swung on and missed there by Bailey. He'll begin walking back towards the Lemurs dugout, adjusting his batting gloves. I'm not sure if he maybe thought that was strike 3, then looked up and his teammates, kind of had to tell him, no, that was only strike 2. Maybe it's just part of his routine. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. 0-2 the count. Runner on first. Infield at double play depth. From the stretch, Perez comes set. And the pitch is fouled down the third base line. And that's going to get out of play and into the seats. A souvenir for a kid who's out running around on the concourse. Nice attendance for the Lemurs tonight at Uni-Trade Stadium on a Fireworks Friday. So after the game, win or lose, the Lemurs fans will be treated to a fireworks show over the right center field fence. And a gorgeous night for baseball. Temperature cooling quickly and a nice breeze, although the temperature is still around 90 degrees here in Laredo. 0-2 is the count. A pickoff throw goes over to first. A lollipop throw, and diving back in head first is Wiley. So Wiley back from the disabled list. He's been bothered with a knee issue, and they're hitting him in the DH spot and the number 8 spot in the batting order tonight. 0-2 the count to Bailey at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit back up the middle. That's getting into center field. Martin broke the wrong way on it, then has to retrace his steps, head back the other way, and make the catch. So he's able to squeeze for out number 1. Luke Bailey is retired. He's now 0 for 2. But he got solid contact on that baseball, just hit it to the wrong spot. Left it up in the air a little bit too much as well. A little bit too much hang time. At home with the Lemurs, he joined the team on the road in that last 7-game road trip. Just his 4th appearance with the club. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes called strike. I'm not sure he actually took that back. I think he just missed it. So 0-1 the count. The runner on first is still Byron Wiley. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Uni-Trade Stadium. Lemurs trailing 3-0. Ty Morrison, 1 for 2, singled back in the 3rd. Corner infield ready to come in case he shows bunt again. Taking all the way as this fastball misses low. So Perez will be working out of the stretch again. 1-1 the count. Lemurs still looking for their first run in this game. Ty Morrison, a .333 hitter at the plate, swings and hits this one back up the middle. It's playable at second base, bobbled, and again it's just tapped over to the man covering second base. That's the second time the Thunderheads have done that in this game. A close play, a potential double play ball. They get the one out. Morrison reaches on the fielder's choice. We saw that with Richardson at the plate in the third inning. Richardson is now the man at the plate, but a play that could be a double play ball, bobbled by the middle infielder, and just kind of pushed to the other middle infielder who's covering second base, and they get the force out. Unbelievable. Richardson at the plate now swings, laces this ball towards left center field, but over the shoulder, Vic making the catch. He had that ball read off the bat. So Richardson only sees one pitch. He hits it to the warning track, catch, and has plenty of time before he crashes into the wall. Lemurs get a leadoff hit, can't do anything with it. We will head to the top of the sixth inning. Lemurs still trailing 3-0 in this one.
This summer, Allegiant will increase to 4 weekly flights to Las Vegas, Nevada. If gambling in Vegas isn't your thing, Allegiant is also increasing to 2 weekly flights to Orlando. Enjoy the Disney theme parks, Legoland, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and the Kennedy Space Center. Flying comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials.
Welcome to Whataburger. Today we're cooking the sweet and spicy bacon burger.
Wow, it's beautiful.
2 beef patties, American cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, bacon, grilled onions, the sweet and spicy pepper sauce.
Sweet in the front and then the spicy in the back. I like it. I like it a lot.
So it's like a perfect balance, and then that bacon right there, it adds crunchiness.
I'd get back in line and get another one, I'll tell you that much.
Sweet spicy bacon burger. Come down to Whataburger. It's only here for a limited time.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light, which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Do you want to?
Back here in Laredo, where the Lemurs trailing the Thunderheads 3-0. It's the first of a 4-game set. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday between these two teams. And Jason Martin will lead things off for the Thunderheads in the 6th against Lemurs starter Greg Hawley. Hawley winds and fires, and this one swung on, hit in the air to right field. Richardson takes a couple steps to his left and makes the catch as he approaches the foul line. 1 pitch and 1 out for the Thunderheads in the 6th inning. That's signature Greg Hawley stuff right there, keeping a pitch count low. It's a manager's best friend. It's a bullpen's best friend as it saves some of the arms for later in the series. The Lemurs will have to figure out their starting rotation, still very much in flux. They really are down to about 3 starting pitchers. Juan Martinez to the plate now, looks at a first pitch that misses outside. Luis Pueyrena started the season as a relief pitcher for the Lemurs. He started last night and was spectacular in a Lemurs win, so it looks like he's going to be the 4th starter. Lemurs still trying to figure out star number 5. This one hit back up the middle, bouncing off the second baseman Taylor. He gathers and throws over to first, but that one was hit so hard that the Lemurs had plenty of time to make the play. It was hit straight to Taylor as Hawley reached out, tried to make a stab at it, missed it, and then the second baseman Taylor just stayed composed, let it bounce off him, gathered and threw to first. Now 2 outs. A very quick inning so far. As the F9 followed by the 4-3. That'll bring up Stefan Gartrell. He's 1 for 2 with a solo home run. That's what is so far the deciding run in the game, as that was the first run. First pitch misses inside. Hawley will work quickly. Here's the pitch, and it misses low and outside. Now 2-0 the count. So Hawley being careful with the .270 hitting Stefan Gartrell, the former University of San Francisco Don. Here's the 2-0 pitch, swung on, hit back up the middle. That's going to get down, actually into shallow left center field. And it's Gartrell's 2nd hit of the night. He's really figured out Greg Hawley. And he has a 2-out single, and that will bring up Rene Leverett. He's another guy with some serious pop in this Thunderheads batting order. They have an opportunity to stretch this lead, perhaps. They might be thinking about doing it by way of the long ball. These are not the kind of guys that you play small ball with. Gartrell and Leverett are both big boppers, big bats. That home run for Gartrell was his 7th of the season. Leverett also has 7 home runs. Righty-righty matchup here with the left by Gartrell was the 5th. Laredo has no 6th inning. Runner on first and 2 outs. Hawley lifts over his shoulder, now comes home with it. Fastball in there for a called strike. Leverett was 2 for 3 last night in a 6-3 win against Joplin. Thunderheads coming off 3 straight wins against the Blasters, the division-leading Blasters. So this South Division still very much up in the air. Pretty much the only division in the American Association that is still a race at this point in the season. Swung on, fouled back into the backstop, and that's strike 2 against Rene Leverett. Leverett spent 2006 through 2009 in the Minnesota Twins organization, and then 2010 through 2014 with the Quebec Capitals. He's 29 years old. Hit .302 in his 5 seasons in Quebec. Definitely a guy who's capable at this level, the Can-Am or American Association level. Runner goes from first, the pitch is in the dirt, the throw will sail high, and no tag able to be applied. Another stolen base there, this one coming from Stefan Gartrell. His first stolen base of the season. He got a great jump. I don't think Greg Hawley expected it one bit. The pitch was low, so it's hard for Bailey to make the throw. But still, Gartrell doesn't look like the picture of speed at 6'3", 230. He played 16 games with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks earlier this year, didn't steal a base. This one tapped to shortstop, scooped up by Valdez, and the throw over to first nearly brings the first baseman Geiger into a collision with the runner Leverett, but he's able to make the catch and avoid the big boy Leverett hustling up the first base line. So that will do it for the Thunderheads. They strand a man on second base, but score no runs. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Lemurs looking for some offense. They trail 3-0.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft, buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
Chavarrias Plumbing's the #1 choice for any plumbing problem. Chavarrias is a full-service company with up-to-date technology trained growing strong. Visit Chavarrias.
Commitment to helping customers and committed to you.
Part of the Lemurs order coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Trying to catch Leondi Perez as he's starting to get tired, perhaps. He's making his first start with the Thunderheads, and he has been good so far. He struck out just 2, but he hasn't allowed an earned run. The Lemurs have just 4 hits against the Thunderheads starter. Dustin Geiger will be followed by Dennis Phipps and Kevin Taylor. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the Lemurs batting order as they trail 3-0, trying to make some of that or all of that up. First pitch, breaking ball, misses inside. Geiger has to take a back step to avoid getting hit by that pitch. Although it registered just 70 miles an hour on the radar gun. From the windup, Perez comes home. Fastball misses upstairs, 2-0. Dustin Geiger off to a kind of slow start with the Lemurs after he came over in a trade with Wichita. He hit .351 with Wichita, still under 200 with the Lemurs. He grounds this one foul down the third base line. He's 2 for 2 tonight, a pair of singles. That comes after a 2-home run performance last night. So he's really coming into his own, but before that had just 5 hits in the first 11 games he played with the club. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left center field. That's going deep to the track, to the wall. That's going to one-hop the wall. Geiger will round first and stand on second base with a stand-up double. A solid charge there by Dustin Geiger. He's now 3 for 3. 2 singles and that double, and the Lemurs in business in the bottom of the 6th. Here we go. Dustin Geiger really coming into his own now. Heard Pete and Caviglia talking about it before the game. He said in a situation where he was traded straight up for Omar Bencuomo, everyone knows Bencuomo's a good pitcher, and Geiger might have put too much pressure on himself, and Pete had to just tell him to relax and play his kind of game. It looks like he's playing very loose and good baseball as Phipps swings hard, hits the first one foul into the net. Dennis Phipps out of the Dominican Republic stands in the right-handed batter's box, 6'2", 220 pounds. Former Cincinnati Red, played in 8 games at the major league level in 2012, went 3 for 10 at the plate. Swings and misses at that one, a high, hard fastball. Phipps would certainly like to get a hit here, at the very least move the runner up another 90 feet. He's 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the first and flew out in the third, getting his third chance at Perez here in the 6th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on, hit foul over everything, straight back over our heads, and into the parking lot. 3-0 is the score. The Thunderheads scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth off of Lemurs starter Greg Hawley. So the Thunderheads starter Leondi Perez still out there working as well. Phipps steps out of the batter's box, and now will step back in. Seen that tactic multiple times from both teams, just trying to slow the pace down a little bit. It's been a quick game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's upstairs. Phipps checks his swing, and they won't even bother to appeal, as that wasn't close. 1-2 the count. Hawley through 6 innings is at 74 pitches, so we fully expect to see him back out there for a 7th. And that was the 73rd pitch by Leondi Perez. There's no outs here in the bottom of the 6th, so his pitch count is going to exceed that of Greg Hawley. Phipps steps out once again before the 1-2 pitch. And now steps back in. The runner on second is Geiger. Phipps at the plate, swings, pops this one straight up into the air. It will be playable near the Lemurs dugout. Now it hooks all the way over the dugout and out of play. Some nice spin on that baseball there by Dennis Phipps as everyone on the right side of the Thunderheads infield came charging toward that ball. The catcher Gaida, the first baseman Leveray, even the pitcher Perez made a run towards the fence that separates the Lemurs dugout from the field of play and watched it sail out of their reach. So the count remains 1-2 to Dennis Phipps. Each team with 5 hits, Thunderheads with 3 runs, Laredo with none. Bottom of the 6th, and a quick meeting on the mound as it's just the first baseman Rene Leveray giving a quick word to his starter Leondi Perez. Perez played 2013 with the Newark Bears and 2014 with the Quebec Capitals, both of those teams in the Can-Am League, and started this season with the Normal Corn Belters in the Frontier League. Another timeout is from right center field. Yeah, he might have got out there on Dennis Phipps. He's now 0 for 3. He storms back into the Lemurs dugout. Now will bring up the left-handed hitter Kevin Taylor with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. The Lemurs need to get a run here just to give some support to their pitching staff. The pitchers have been, for the most part, pretty good. It's been some low-scoring games during that last road trip. The Lemurs just weren't able to provide the runs. Although they broke out last night, scored 7 runs in the 2nd inning, and were able to coast to victory. The other 3 games against Wichita, 5-1, 6-1, and 1-0 losses. First pitch to Taylor. That misses outside for ball 1. The Lemurs coming off a 2-5 road trip. They're at home for 4 games here. Second pitch misses low to Taylor. 2-0. Kevin Taylor at the plate is 0 for 2. A pair of groundouts. One of them was a double play ball. So he's looking to get a solid piece of this one, hit it into the outfield, perhaps drive in a run. 2-0 the count. He'll be looking for something to hit here, although first base is open. Hits this one in the air, foul down the third base line. That one will get out of play, although the Thunderheads infield again, chasing that ball all the way to the wall. That separates the fans from the field of play. Smart over there at third base. Ibarra Smart at third, Ibarra at short, Amarillo, Vic, Martin, and Valentine. That's from left to right. On Kevin Taylor. Anything runs on the season, but 24 as it bounces off the top of the suite level. Just a wonderful swung on, hit into left field, 1 hop, runner being held up at third. The throw comes home. Geiger held up at third. The ball nearly gets away from the catcher, and Gaida scoops it up, glances over to first to make sure Taylor doesn't try to take a free bag. Runners now at the corners for the Lemurs, and Juan Silverio will come to the plate. He represents the tying run. Here we go. A 1-out single for Kevin Taylor, his first hit of the game. Geiger wasn't able to advance to third, but held up at third base, and it looks like we will get a mound visit here. I believe that's Amarillo manager Bobby Brown. He's pointing to the bullpen. Doesn't look like he's going to let his starter work his way out of this jam. Wow. Leone Perez hands the ball over. He will walk back to the dugout. And the Thunderheads will look for relief. Lemurs have runners on the corners, 1 out. They trail by 3 runs, and Juan Silverio will come to the plate. We'll be right back. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas, as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Tokyo Garden of Laredo is located at 2515 East Del Mar Boulevard, and they serve the best sushi in town. Stop by Tokyo Garden for a quick lunch or a fancy dinner. Either way, you're going to enjoy our fine cuisine. Did you just get off work? Then come on by and check out our happy hour specials. Tokyo Garden, where you'll find the best sushi in Laredo.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Pro Mega Signs of Laredo is there for all of your printing and signage needs. We can be found at 1615 Jackman Road in Laredo, or you can reach us by phone at 956-723-2110. Again, that's 956-723-2110. If you need a sign, big or small, come to Pro Mega Signs of Laredo, where your print job is just around the corner.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
In over 40 years, in fact, Armadillo Homes is, and of course,
Newest member of their roster. Right at the first baseman Leveray, he stands under it and squeezes it for out number 2. 1 pitch and 1 out for Septimo. And now it will all come up to Jeudy Valdez. Didn't even have a chance to introduce Juan Silverio as he swings at the first pitch and flies out. Layson Septimo throws 4 pitches, a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, a slider, and an occasional changeup. He said the slider is his main 2-strike pitch. That's according to Wikipedia, so you know it must be true. Left-handed pitcher is in his first season in independent baseball. Started 2015 with York in the Atlantic League. Fastball misses inside on Valdez. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, and the Lemurs trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th. So Septimo, as of last night, wasn't on the Thunderheads roster. As of this morning, wasn't on the Thunderheads roster. Joined the team this afternoon. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed as the pitch was dropped by the catcher Gaida. Valdez just couldn't catch up with that one. That was some gas. Septimo made his professional debut at age 22 with Visalia in the California League in the Diamondbacks organization. Worked his way 2 hits, and they can't do anything.
It's almost like when you were a kid and you wake up in the morning, you can smell mom cooking breakfast.
I like their hash browns.
My favorite's the honey butter chicken biscuit. I like the taquitos. We have some fresh cracked eggs here.
I like these pancakes because they're fluffy.
I really like the fact that you can get into Whataburger real fast and bring it on the go. We're cooking breakfast for you at Whataburger.
We all know we can accomplish more when we're ready. That's why I've chosen Texas A&M International University. I want a 4-year degree and the opportunities that it brings. TAMU has welcomed me and more than 7,000 students from around the world. TAMU empowers me to greatness, ignites my mind, and propels me to my future and my impact. Imagine the possibilities when you're powered by TAMU.
Register now for summer and fall. Visit tamu.edu and get powered.
All right, the Lemurs trailing 3-0 in that one, and I criticized the move to go to the bullpen there with 1 out, runners on the corners, and Layson Septimo comes in and proves why I'm not a manager at professional baseball. My work is done here in the middle innings. Take you the rest of the way. Here's Bill Harrington.
Yes, do yourself a favor, young man. Stick to broadcasting.
Yes, you do not want to step down into the dugout. That is a tough place to be, no doubt about it. You think it's easy. It looks easy from sitting up here, that's for sure. And it looks like we can make the calls all day long, but in the end, not easy. You got a nice picture of some burgers there. Here's the pitch, and that one is swung on and a line drive into right field off the bat of the new batter coming up, Geraldo Valentin, and he'll get himself a base hit to start things off here in the 7th inning. So it's 3-0 Amarillo. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for the Amarillo Thunderheads. Lemurs have no runs on 6 hits. They've made 3 errors in tonight's ball game. And into the batter's box is Christian Ibarra. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. So runner at first base and nobody out. Greg Hawley still on the mound for the Laredo Lemurs. The big guy works from the first base side of the rubber. Bunt shown, bunted at, bunted foul. So the Lemurs will pick that one up. So the Thunderheads struck first. Of course, they have a 3-0 lead, so of course they struck first here in the ball game. Stefan Gartrell with a solo home run. That was the first home run given up this year by Greg Hawley. And that made it a 1-0 lead back in the 2nd inning. That was with 1 out. And then Amarillo got another run in the 3rd inning with 2 out. Logan Vick singled. He stole second base and was later brought in by Jordan Gaida on a base hit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bunt shown again, pulled back, and that's called a strike on the outside part of the plate, a fastball there. Then in the 4th inning, Juan Martinez came to the plate. He reached on an error by Juan Silverio. That was the 2nd error on the night by Silverio. And then a 6-3 putout sent Martinez up to second base, and then Rene Leverre singled to drive him in. Next pitch misses. It is a count now of 1 ball and 2 strikes. So that's how the Amarillo Thunderheads got their 3 runs here in the ball game. And the Lemurs, after yesterday's 12 runs, are scoreless today. Toss over to first base, and back in safely is Christian Ibarra. Excuse me, Christian Ibarra is at the plate. That was Geraldo Valentin back in safely. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawley hangs that right arm behind him, looks in, now looks over his shoulder. He'll get the sign from Luke Bailey and throw home. Bunt shown, bunted at. He kicked the ball when the ball was put into play. No one sees it, though. Bailey's going to pick up the baseball. Now the umpire does indeed see it, and he's going to call the runner out. So the umpire at first base, Art Thigpen, saw that the runner Ibarra kicked the ball once he was out of the batter's box and called him out. The home plate umpire did not. The home plate umpire had seen the infraction, but the home plate umpire did not see the infraction, and that's going to send the runner from second base back to first on the play. So a sac bunt opportunity goes for naught, and basically what it's going to be is a 2 unassisted in your scorebook. So it's 3-0 Amarillo. And Valentin has to head back to first base, so the Lemurs get a break there. Runner at first base and 1 out. The runner goes. The pitch is swung on and grounded up to the first baseman. Geiger will back up just a little bit. He'll touch the bag and look to second base, but there's no play there. Geraldo Valentin, and we'll go up to see Logan Vick come up to the plate. It was weird that the home plate umpire didn't make that call when Ibarra kicked the ball. He didn't kick it on purpose. He bunted the ball down, and as he was taking off to go towards first base, the ball hit off of his leg, and it bounced out a little bit further in front of home plate. Luke Bailey was hoping to get the call, and the first base umpire, Art Thigpen, saw it clearly, and he made the call. So here's Logan Vick seeing a strike on the inside part of the plate. Bailey probably should have picked the ball up in retrospect and tried to make the play nonetheless in case nobody did see it. And then the Lemurs would have had an argument if it went through. Here's a line drive into right field. Breaking the ball is Richardson. He'll reach up and make the catch. And that's going to do it for the Amarillo Thunderheads. So they get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Lemurs need some runs. 3-0 Amarillo.
Sweating through another barn burner at your team's bar?
Sure am.
Wish you had some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in meeting new people, epic fist bumps, epic forearm bumps, epic or chest bumps, touchdown dancing, break dancing, line dancing, dancing like nobody's watching, awesome refreshment for the win, and one-of-a-kind Rocky Mountain Cold refreshment. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
We'd like to imagine that if you're listening to this, it's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few in traffic. Here's hoping it's Miller time.
Game tonight. Come on out to the ballpark tomorrow night. It's really nice out here. Come on out and enjoy yourself at Uni-Trade Stadium. We're having fireworks here tonight after the ball game, and tomorrow's going to be a fun night as well here at the ballpark. So come on by, say hello, and enjoy yourself. Byron Wiley's going to lead things off. Wiley picked up a base hit in his last at bat, and Septimo stays into the ball game, and he throws a fastball in there for a strike. Ooh, that was a good fastball. 3-0 Amarillo. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Amarillo. No runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Laredo Lemurs. And Septimo working out of the stretch with nobody on. He'll throw a curveball. Hits the inside corner. So quickly Byron Wiley in an 0-2 hole. So Wiley struck out looking back in the second. Picked up that base hit in the 5th inning. Infield playing pretty much straight up. The 0-2 delivery, a breaking ball, swung on and missed. That was a slider that just kept going away there from Wiley. He strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. And coming up to the plate now for Laredo is Luke Bailey. Well, it makes you wonder how the Lemurs can put up 12 runs one day and come back the next day and be totally flat. And I'm not going to blame it on the bus ride because the Amarillo ThunderHeads had to go through pretty much the same thing after their homestand yesterday. They took about an 11-hour ride to get here. And the pitch, Bailey swings and fouls it off. So both teams, but nonetheless, that's 12 runs yesterday coming out, and they're a little flat today, even though they have 6 hits. The pitch, swung on a ground ball, dribbled up the third baseline, foul. They're scoreless here. They were scoreless over 2 games through 4 before yesterday's ball game. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Bailey strikes out. The catcher has the ball. Guida will throw down to first base to complete the out. Rene Leverett steps on the bag, and that'll do it for Luke Bailey. So a strikeout in the book there. And that'll be the second out of the inning. A couple of strikeouts thrown up by Septimo here since coming into the ball. His final line goes like this. This is first day being with the club, actually. He threw 5 1/3, gave up 6 hits, no runs. He walked a batter and struck out 3. Here's Ty Morrison. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Morrison will see a pitch miss low. 1 ball and no strikes. Morrison reached on an error back in the first, reached on a single in the third, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. The 1-0 delivery. Swung on, that one's popped up over our head, so that's a foul ball. So make it 1 ball and 1 strike to Morrison. On deck is Devontre Richardson for the Laredo Lemurs. 3-0 Amarillo. Amarillo and Joplin had some crazy weather up there over the last 4 days. The 1-1 pitch, a check swing, and I think that was fouled off. Make it a 1-2 count. On Monday and Tuesday, they did not play baseball up in Amarillo. Both days got rained out. I think one day was a rain out. The next day was a flood out because the ballpark was flooded. They couldn't play. On Thursday, they actually played at the ballpark in Amarillo where the Thunderheads make their home. As the next pitch comes in, I believe they are now calling it the ballpark at Amarillo or the ballpark or the Thunderhead Stadium, or they changed the name. It's Thunderhead Stadium, I believe. Stop changing the names and I'll remember them. But it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. I remember when it was called Amarillo National Bank Sox Stadium, the longest name of any ballpark in baseball, as that pitch misses outside. 3-2 to Ty Morrison.
According to the American Association website, Potter County Memorial Stadium.
That's the old name. That's really old. Yeah, see? The 3-2 swung on and a foul ball up into the screen. No wonder I don't even know it because the league doesn't even have it right. But I believe it's called ThunderHeads Stadium now. Actually, I have it in my scorebook. I will look back and I will let you know 100% for sure what it was called.
ThunderHeads Stadium, according to their website.
Okay, thank you. ThunderHeads Stadium. The pitch, yeah. What'd you say?
Boring.
Boring. Well, you got to get a sponsor in order to name it after a sponsor. Morrison walks. So the Lemurs have a base runner with 2 out. So, as I was saying, Monday was rained out. Tuesday was a basic flood out in Amarillo because the water stayed in the ballpark. They couldn't get the water out. The water was in the dugouts. It was on the field. The toss over to first base. Morrison back in safely. And then Thursday, they actually got one of the 2 games in. They were going to play a doubleheader on Thursday or Wednesday. They were going to play a doubleheader. They got 1 game in. They couldn't get the second game in. On Thursday, here's the pitch, and that one's loaded to Devontae Richardson. On Thursday, they were going to play at ThunderHeads Stadium, but they moved it to West Texas A&M University because the ballpark was still a mess. So they couldn't play at ThunderHeads Stadium. The pitch, called a strike on the outside corner. So there you go. I got it all out. So yeah, a funny turn of events there. They actually moved the games to get them in. Here comes the 1-1. Nope, instead of throw over to first base. When I was up in Amarillo last time, they were actually talking about trying to put AstroTurf into that ballpark, which wouldn't be a bad idea. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch swung on and fouled away. It gets up into the Stadium Club. So of the doubleheader yesterday that was played at West Texas A&M University, from what I understand, the second game got rained out. They only played 1 then. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Richardson. So they only ended up getting 2 of the 4 games in that series as the pitch is low. So Joplin has had problems with this. Joplin lost 3 games to Kansas City. Not lost the games, but they lost the events. They were not able to play games in 3 straight days to Kansas City when they were up in Joplin. So the rain's following the Joplin Blasters around. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on a line drive into left field. A base hit for Richardson. Morrison will move up to second base. He'll hang out there and have a coffee. And Devontae Richardson is going to move up to first. He's got a single. I think Morrison would like a cappuccino.
Yeah, I've never heard that expression before. We'll have a coffee at second base. But going back to your point, you said the rain is following the Joplin Blasters. All I can picture is those old cartoons where, there's the rain literally follows. There's a cloud over someone's head.
Yeah, and the rain keeps falling on them, and they're sad.
That's not supposed to happen to a new club. The Blasters are a new franchise.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're in first place.
But literally, it is almost literally as though there's a rain cloud following their head.
Same thing with Kansas City. Kansas City's having trouble with the rainouts this year. So a big at bat here for Dustin Geiger. The Lemurs are down 3-0. Geiger is 3 for 3 in the game. Here's the pitch. He swings and grounds one up the middle. It's off the glove of the pitcher. Flipping it is Ibarra over to the second base to Martinez, and they'll get the out, and that's going to do it for the Lemurs. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. The Lemurs are scoreless here through 7. It's 3-0 Amarillo. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball and a little bit more.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific Boys and Girls Club. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Todos sabemos que podemos lograr más cuando estamos listos. Por eso, decidí matricularme en Texas A&M International University. Quiero un título universitario y las oportunidades que me brindará. Tammy U me ha recibido a mí y a 7,000 estudiantes de todo el mundo. Tammy U me impulsa a ser grande, enciende mi mente y hace mi corazón latir. Imagina las posibilidades cuando eres impulsado por Tammy U.
Inscríbete ahora para verano y otoño. Visita tammyu.edu y sé impulsado.
3, 2, 1. Number one. That's Laredo's #1 Chevy dealer. Family Chevrolet turns the best day ever into the best month ever. 15% off. Not good enough, but 25% off. Now that makes it the best month ever. With over 600 vehicles available, makes it the best pricing ever. 2015 Equinox, 2015 Traverse. Not 15, but 25% off. And the best financing rates for the best month ever. 1.9 interest. Family Chevrolet of Laredo.com. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet. Family Chevrolet is the #1 volume Chevy dealer for a reason. Every customer rides during our spring cleaning closeout sale with massive price cuts on 600 Chevys. New 2015 Chevy Cruze. How about 25% off MSRP? Wow, that's huge. Or only $199 a month. New 2015 Malibu for only $269 a month. Or 25% off MSRP. Plus 2 years free maintenance and a 100,000-mile warranty. It's a spring cleaning closeout sale happening now at the #1 volume Chevy dealer. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet.
3-0. Did I say that right? 3-0 Amarillo. Here's the first pitch to the batter, as it's called a strike on the outside corner. Jordan Gaida into the batter's box. He reached on an error back in the first, reached on a single and drove in a run in the third. He swings and misses here, and he struck out in the 5th inning. Bill Harrington along with Cameron Songer. Hello from Uni-Trade Stadium, the 0-2. Slider low and away. Well, here's your scoreboard from around the American Association. We got to catch up and see what's going on in the rest of the league. We're not the only game in town. Here's the 1-2. Swung and missed. Well, that's actually a lie. We are the only game in town. We're not the only game in the American Association, though. Gaida strikes out. 7 strikeouts tonight for Hawley. He ties a season high with that one right there. And Jason Martin coming up to the plate. Well, look at Joplin. They're beating Sioux City right now. Sioux City is the second best team in the American Association, and Joplin is beating them up 10-4. Here's Jason Martin into his squat, and he swings and misses as an elbow guard comes flying off. That was a violent swing right there. He came up out of his crouch, swung the bat, and an elbow guard popped right off of his elbow. No balls and 1 strike. 3-0 Amarillo. St. Paul Lemurs, Jeudy Valdez, third baseman Silverio, who cut in front of him. And Jeudy Valdez makes the play. 2 down. So the only hit on the night for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks comes off the bat of Chad Mazingo. He ended up going 1 for 4. So almost a no-hitter. And the pitcher on the mound for Ottawa was Grenier. I don't know his first name because it doesn't say here. It just says D. Grenier, as the first pitch to Juan Martinez is fouled away. So interesting there. Ottawa wins 1-0 over Fargo. The Hawley, it goes in and out of his mitt. He finds it on the ground. He throws over to first base, and that's going to retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down, and Hawley's through 8. Finish up the scoreboard for here. Grand Prairie and Lincoln, no score in the bottom of the 9th inning. That's a good one. Kansas City and Wichita, they're tied at 5 in the bottom of the 6th. Sioux Falls 4, Gary 1. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And we got a 3-0 score here in Laredo. Amarillo's up. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubba-da, boom, which led to you. Miller Lite, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Crowd at the bar making you sweat?
Uh-huh.
Could you use some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in epic nights, maximum refreshment, great times, awesome memories, high fives, smiles, Rocky Mountain refreshment, Blue Mountain refreshment, quadruple epic refreshment, killer parties, and totally refreshed killer parties. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Capital Care EMS, located at 1510 Calle del Norte, Suite number 11, invites you to experience a new standard in medical transportation, servicing Laredo and all surrounding areas. Capital Care EMS provides transports to wound care treatments, HBO treatments, dialysis treatments, doctor's appointments, radiation treatments, chemotherapy treatments, and many more. From emergency medical transport to x-rays and lab work, our state-certified EMTs and paramedics are readily available 24 hours a day when you need them most. Capital Care EMS accepts most major medical insurances, including Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and many more. Capital Care EMS is locally owned and operated. Call now for your free consultation. 956-712-8911. That's 956-712-8911. Capital Care EMS, creating a new standard in medical transportation. Capital Care EMS, the official ambulance of your Laredo Lemurs.
Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Catholic College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College.
All right, so the heart of the order coming up for Laredo. Phipps, Taylor, Silverio. It's 4, 5, and 6. And they're facing off against a new pitcher, Richard Barrett. So Septibo is done. He went 1 2/3, gave up a hit, no runs, walked a batter, and struck out 2. Here's Phipps into the batter's box. He looks at a curveball and it's over the plate for a strike. Phipps on the day. He was hit by a pitch in the first, flew out to left field in the third, and struck out in the sixth. 3-0 Amarillo here from Laredo, Texas. The 0-1, high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Barrett, he's 27 years old. He makes his hometown in North Hollywood, California. Not too bad. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Breaking ball. That hits the outside corner. Barrett has a record of no wins and 1 loss, a 3.78 ERA over 19 appearances for the Amarillo Thunderheads. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Actually tipped into the glove of the catcher, says the home plate umpire. But nonetheless, a strikeout. 1 down, and Kevin Taylor coming up to the plate now for Laredo. This is the first season for Barrett in the American Association. Played the last 5 seasons in the Frontier League, including stops with the Gateway Grizzlies, the Windy City Thunderbolts, the River City Rascals. Here's the pitch to Taylor. A fastball misses outside. So the Laredo Lemurs in a 3-0 hole right now, trying to dig themselves out of it. A 1-0 pitch. Called a strike at the letters on the outside corner. The Lemurs this year against Amarillo, they're 3-5. Kind of a surprising number. The Lemurs haven't done too well, in fact, against both Grand Prairie and Amarillo. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball swung on a line drive into center field. Coming on is Martin. Martin will get there as he goes into the left center field gap. He'll squeeze the ball and make the catch, and there's 2 down. Juan Silverio, the next batter. The Lemurs against Amarillo overall are 3-5. They're 2-2 here at home against Amarillo. They started off a 4-game series here at the very beginning of the season against the Thunderheads. The Lemurs up in Amarillo are 1-3 in that 4-game set. The Lemurs against the South Division starting tonight are 16-16 as that pitch is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch to Silverio. He swings, lines one into left field, and that one is going to be down for a base hit. Silverio's around first base. He's going to go into second. He'll have a stand-up double with 2 down, and Jeudy Valdez is going to be coming up to the plate. So Silverio breaks through with a single. Another base hit up on the board for the Laredo Lemurs. The Lemurs have actually out-hit the Amarillo Thunderheads tonight, but they have no runs to show for it. So Jeudy Valdez coming up to the plate. Valdez looking for his first hit. Wind blowing out to left field here at Uni-Trade Stadium tonight. Blowing pretty good, in fact. And the pitch. in tight on the hands of J.U.D. Valdez. He has to get out of the way of that one. One ball and no strikes. Barrett looks in, gets the sign from the catcher, Gaida. He'll come set at the chest, look back at second base. He'll kick high and throw home. And that one swung on a fly ball, hit well out to center field. Martin's on the run. He'll pull up. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it for the Laredo Lemurs. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left. A double by Juan Silverio is the only thing the Lemurs get here. We're going to the top of the 9th inning. Lemurs down 3-0.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. The chicken is hot and fresh. It's got melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and then the honey mustard adds a nice sweet flavor to it.
All the flavors come together just perfect. I mean, not only do I want to eat it, but I keep wanting to look at it.
The crunchiness of the bacon adds a really nice texture.
Honey mustard and chicken just go together. You know, sweet and savory, it's a perfect mix.
Try the new Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. Only at Whataburger for a limited time.
Hey Lemurs fans, every Thursday night at Uni-Trade Stadium is a Thirsty Thursday. Come on out and enjoy cold Miller Lite draft beers for only $1. That's right, beer for $1. You can get tickets online at LaredoLemurs.com or by phone at 956-7-LEMURS. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. We're proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo area and supply slip sliding fun for kids of all ages. Texas Inflatable Rentals has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Inflatable Rentals at 956-436-3909 or at texasinflatablerentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slides.
All right, well, look who's back up on the hill for the Laredo Lemurs. None other than Greg Hawley. He's going to try to pitch through the 9th inning here. The Lemurs are down 3-0. And Hawley trying to go for the complete game nonetheless. Here's the pitch to the batter, Stefan Gartrell. Gartrell will swing at the first pitch and foul it off. Gartrell hit a home run against Greg Hawley. That was the first run Hawley had given up in a long time. Hawley with an 0-1 count. And here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled off. This from the notebook of Zach Davis from the Laredo Morning Times. When that home run was hit back in the 2nd inning, it broke a 30 1/3 scoreless inning streak, and that was his first run allowed since June 15th. Now, we talked about that earlier when it happened. That was the first run that he had allowed since June 15th, but Zach Davis was able to do the math and break it down over 30 1/3 innings. So that's 3+ games.
Earned runs.
Right, earned runs, correct.
Because he did allow
one run, but it was unearned. No balls and 2 strikes to Stefan Gartrell. 3-0 Amarillo. So thanks to Zach Davis of the Laredo Morning Times. It's always good to follow the beat writer, whatever town you're in. Here's the 0-2. Swung on a line drive down the right field line. A fair ball. Just fair inside of the line, and it bounces away from the right fielder, Richardson. He corrals it, throws it into second base, and it's off the tip of the glove of J.U.D. Valdez. Silverio will get it over by third base. So Gartrell with a double. That's going to be his 3rd hit of the ball game, and Rene Leverret coming up to the plate. 3-0 Amarillo. Rene Leverret with a single earlier in the game. He's 1 for 2. He had an RBI back in the 4th inning. Yeah, so if you follow a independent team or a Major League Baseball team for that matter, and you like to know those little ins and outs, always good to follow your local beat writer. Here's a pop-up, shallow right. Coming in for the Lemurs is Richardson, and now the ball blows back into the infield. Catching the ball is J.U.D. Valdez from his shortstop position. Richardson was hustling in, and next thing you know, he started pointing that the ball's coming back to you. Kevin Taylor wasn't even close to it, and J.U.D. Valdez, the shortstop, had to come and catch it. Now, that was a wild pop-up. And the Lemurs are lucky that it didn't fall to the ground. So 1 down, and Geraldo Valentin, you could hear the wind out there. There it is. Here's Valentin. Valentin will take a strike on the outside part of the plate. It is hustling. The wind is blowing. It's a gusting. It's a little tornado-y out there. Well, it's not really a tornado-y, but the 0-1. Swung on a line drive up the middle. Amarillo a base hit. Gartrell's going to go to third base. He's going to be held there. And there's nobody at second. So the runner between first and second base, Valentine, will head back to first base as Richardson tries to sneak in behind him, and he almost was able to. Geiger with the baseball calls timeout, and Greg Hawley will get the ball back. It's 3-0 Amarillo, and now they have runners at the corners. Well, let's see how long manager Pete Incaviglia leaves Hawley out there. His pitch count is up to 98 on the night for Greg Hawley. So he's been pretty conservative here. And he's in the 9th inning. It's pretty good. The pitch. That one misses outside to the batter, Ibrera. Christian Ibrera, 0 for 3. So Zach Davis, I know you're listening. Go ahead and give us another tidbit there, buddy. We'll share it with everybody. The 1-0 pitch, called a strike on the outside corner. If you want to follow Zach Davis, he's at Zach Davis LMT. Zach Davis LMT. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's the beat writer for the Laredo Lemurs. Well, he doesn't work for the Lemurs. He works for the Laredo Morning Times. The 1-1 pitch, swung on a ground ball up the middle. Valdez is there. He'll flip to second for 1. Over to first base, and that is a double play. That'll end things here for the Amarillo Thunderheads. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Lemurs need some Lemur magic here. They're down 3-0. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks, root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Looking to travel this summer? If the year-round flights to Las Vegas aren't fit for you, take advantage of Allegiant's direct flights from Laredo International Airport to Orlando. For as low as $119 round trip, you and your family can be in Orlando in 2.5 hours. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials. Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit Hot Dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito Hamburger and Cabrito Hot Dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1990. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs. Now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array of services from physical therapy to our newest service, orthopedic surgery. Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic is changing orthopedic care one athlete at a time. Visit our website at laredosportsmed.com for more information.
This summer, Allegiant will increase to 4 weekly flights to Las Vegas, Nevada. If gambling in Vegas isn't your thing, Allegiant is also increasing to 2 weekly flights to Orlando. Enjoy the Disney theme parks, Legoland, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and the Kennedy Space Center. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials. All right, Byron Widley leads it off for the Lemurs. He'll be followed by Luke Bailey and then Ty Morrison. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, it's 3-0 Amarillo, so the Lemurs need a rally. New pitcher on. His name is Randy Hamrick for the Amarillo Thunderheads. So away we go in the bottom of the 9th inning. Randy Hamrick with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, a 1.58 ERA. He'll kick and throw home, and that one is high for a ball. So Hamrick 2-1 on the season, a 1.58 ERA in 22 games. He has 6 saves this year, and he's thrown in 22 2/3 innings with 27 strikeouts and 14 walks. So he'll walk some guys. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Low and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hamrick has also given up 16 hits on the season. He last pitched against Joplin on July 8th and picked up a W. He went 2 innings and gave up 2 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 2 that day. Hamrick works out of the stretch. He'll throw. And that is called a strike on the outside corner right below the letters. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Byron Wiley. Wiley looking for his second hit of the game. He has bookended his hit with a couple of strikeouts. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1. Hamrick was drafted in the 19th round by the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2009. He reached up to AAA Reno in 2011 where he appeared in 5 games. So he's had a little AAA experience under his belt. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. That one blazes across the strike zone. So now it's a 3-2 count. The kick and the throw home. A breaking ball swung on and fouled off. Wiley fouls that one off to the left. It'll get up near the kitty zone down the left field line. Three balls and 2 strikes again. Wiley taking his time getting back into the box. Lemurs need a base runner. They need a couple of them here. Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A good fastball there, right at the knees by the pitcher, Randy Hamrick. Wiley strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. That'll bring up Luke Bailey. Three runs on 8 hits and 1 error for Amarillo tonight. No runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors for the Laredo Lemurs. Even though the Lemurs have 3 errors, only one of them has really hurt the Lemurs. Juan Martinez scored back in the 4th inning after he reached on an error. Here's Luke Bailey taking a strike. Bailey on the day, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. No balls and 1 strike. Bailey, a right-handed batter, facing off against the righty Hamrick. And the pitch. Low and outside, a fastball. Even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. To the Lemurs catcher, Luke Bailey, one of 2 catchers for Laredo. They have Brian Peterson back there as well, but Peterson getting the night off tonight. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Let's make it 2 balls and 1 strike. And Luke Bailey trying to get on any way he can right here. Like I said, the Lemurs just need base runners at this point. Need to get guys on to move them around. Hamrick throws. Swung and fouled back. So that'll even up the count at 2-2. If the Lemurs lose tonight, they'll be a 500 ball club. They start the day with a record of 24 wins and 23 losses. And Joplin's winning their game right now. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Called strike 3. A fastball right at the thigh on the outer third of the plate. And Luke Bailey goes down looking. There's 2 down. Ty Morrison will be the hitter. Ty Morrison with a single back in the 3rd. He's reached every time he's come up today. But he only has that 1 base hit. He reached on an error in the 1st, reached on a single in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th, and walked in the 7th inning. He's a left-handed batter. 3-0 Amarillo. The pitch. A fastball on the outside part of the plate at the knee. 0-1. So Morrison is the final opportunity here for the Lemurs. They need him to get on base to keep the game going. The 0-1 delivery. That one misses a little bit outside. Almost the same pitch as the called strike, but it was a little bit further away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greg Hawley still down in the dugout for the Lemurs. And it'd be interesting to see if he actually went back out there if the Lemurs tied up this game. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a ground ball. Well, actually, that's going to be popped back behind home plate. It hits off the top of the plate and rolls back to the backstop. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Morrison has got to protect now as he looks to get on base any way he can. And the pitch on the 1-2. A fastball misses outside. Even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morrison all the way back in the very back of the batter's box. Got his knees bent and whips the bat around like a windmill right now. And he's ready to go for the 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on a ground ball over to the shortstop. Ibrera is there. He'll double pump. He'll throw quickly. It's a close play, and that's going to be the 3rd and final out of the ball game. So the Lemurs go down in order in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they lose this one by a final score of 3-0. We'll take a timeout, come back with the postgame show. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Thanks for joining us for Laredo Lemurs Baseball, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade 40, Whataburger of Alice. The Laredo Lemurs post-game show is coming your way next.
Capital Care EMS, located at 1510 Calle Norte, Suite number 11, invites you to experience a new standard in medical transportation, servicing Laredo and all surrounding areas. Capital Care EMS provides transports to wound care treatments, HBO treatments, dialysis treatments, doctor's appointments, radiation treatments, chemotherapy treatments, and many more. From emergency medical transport to x-rays and lab work, our state-certified EMTs and paramedics are readily available 24 hours a day when you need them most. Capital Care EMS accepts most major medical insurances, including Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and many more. Capital Care EMS is locally owned and operated. Call now for your free consultation. 956-712-8911. That's 956-712-8911. Capital Care EMS, creating a new standard of your Laredo.
At Catholic College Laredo, in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800. Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Kaplan College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800.
Kaplan College does not guarantee employment or career advancement. Information about programs at www.kaplancollege.com/consumer-info.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. The chicken is hot and fresh. It's got melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and then the honey mustard adds a nice sweet flavor to it.
All the flavors come together just perfect. I mean, not only do I want to eat it, but I keep wanting to look at it.
The crunchiness of the bacon adds a really nice texture.
Honey mustard and chicken just go together. You know, sweet and savory, it's a perfect mix.
Try the new Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club.
Only at Whataburger for a limited time.
Hey Lemurs fans, every Thursday night at Uni-Trade Stadium is a Thirsty Thursday. Come on out and enjoy cold Miller Lite draft beers for only $1. That's right, beer for $1. You can get tickets online at LaredoLemurs.com or by phone at 956-7-LEMURS. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. We're proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo. Has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Inflatable Rentals at 956-436-5333 3909 or at TexasInflatableRentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slide.
Now it's time for the Laredo Lemurs post-game show. Laredo Lemurs baseball is brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade Forwarding, Whataburger of Alice. Now here's Bill Harrington with Laredo Lemurs post-game show.
All right, Lemurs fans, thanks for sticking around for the post-game show. Bill Harrington coming to you from Uni-Trade Stadium as the Lemurs lose this one by a final score of 3-0 to the Amarillo Thunderheads in the first game of a 4-game set between these two clubs. That loss moves the Lemurs to 500 on the year. They're 24-24 this season, and that loss is also their third shutout loss in their last 6 games. So the Lemurs still reeling a little bit. I thought maybe after yesterday's 12-3 win over Wichita that helped the Lemurs break out, but they come back home and lay an egg here today against the Amarillo Thunderheads. The big hitter tonight for the Laredo Lemurs was Dustin Geiger. He went 3 for 4. And the big guy on the mound, Greg Hawley, still pitched well. Went 9 complete innings. Gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them were earned. He didn't walk anybody, struck out 7, but he did give up a home run. That was the first home run that he's given up all season long. But Hawley was superb again today, and his team just does not give him any run support in this ball game. That's the second straight game that Hawley has held down a baseball team, and the team did not give him any run support. Remember, Hawley started against Grand Prairie, and the Lemurs ended up losing that game 1-0 in extra innings. Hawley wasn't on the mound at the time when the loss came, but he ended up pitching very well in that ball game as well. So Greg Hawley, after the loss tonight, moves to 3-5 on the season, but his ERA stays at 1.49 on the season. So here's your total line. Amarillo had 3 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. They left 5 on. The Laredo Lemurs with no runs, 8 hits, 3 errors in the game. They left 10 base runners on here tonight, so opportunities were missed for the Lemurs. They left a runner at third in the first inning, a runner at second in the third. They left another runner at third base in the 6th, a runner at second base in the 7th, and a runner at second base in the 8th inning. So opportunities for the Laredo Lemurs, they just could not come up with that big hit to bring the runs home to try to at least get into this ball game as they lose 3-0 here tonight. So the Lemurs looking to bounce back tomorrow, and it's not going to be an easy one for the Laredo Lemurs moving forward here, but they're going to try to have to shake themselves out of this. You know, we saw yesterday that they could put up 12 runs at any time. They are a good baseball team, and they can do that. They could shake up a pitcher from time to time when they go out there and swing the bats well. This game was played in 2 hours and 11 minutes. They played it in front of a crowd of 2,162 people here at Uni-Trade Stadium, and it's fireworks night here, so they're going to have the fireworks going off here shortly. But overall, the Lemurs with another tough loss. That is their 48th game of the year. They move to number 49 tomorrow. We'll go ahead and get you the scoreboard from around the American Association before we call it a night here this evening. And taking a look around the league, Joplin's up 10-6 over Sioux City. They're in the top of the 9th in that one. Ottawa today, they beat Fargo 1-0. Their starting pitcher threw a one-hitter against the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks. Kansas City 6, Wichita 5. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning, so Kansas City on the verge of beating Wichita maybe. That's a close game. St. Paul 10, Winnipeg 2. That game is over with, so St. Paul gets another victory. Lincoln beats Grand Prairie 1-0 in 11 innings, so another tight game there. Sioux Falls and Gary, they're in a tight one as well. They're in the 8th inning. They're tied at 4. And your final score here, Amarillo 3, Laredo 0. So that's going to do it for our ball game here this evening. We'll see you back on the broadcast tomorrow, 7:15 for the pregame show. 7:30 for the first pitch. We're going to be talking to Matt Lucen tomorrow before the ball game. We're going to talk to him about his no-hitter that he had back in 2013 when he was playing for the Daytona Cubs in the Florida State League. So that's part of your pregame show tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. My name is Bill Harrington. My buddy's name is Cameron Songer. He helps out with the broadcast in a whole lot of ways, and we both appreciate you tuning in for tonight's broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow for the pregame show at 7:15. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for Laredo Lemurs Baseball, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade Forwarding, Whataburger of Alice. Join us next time for all your Laredo Lemurs action.